Chapter 1108. Fong Ping was still considering whether to enter when suddenly another figure flashed past. Earth Xing. Fong Ping's eyes lit up when he saw Earth Xing. Among them, he wanted to kill Earth Xing the most. This guy had a fat baby. Origin Realm. Earth Xing seemed to know something too. He frowned and gritted his teeth. Before Fong Ping could react, this guy rushed into the hut. Decisive. Earth Xing was considered decisive among them, whether it was when he attacked Earthman or when he made a deal with Fong Ping. At this moment, Earth Xing did not hesitate and entered Origin Realm directly. Seeing this, Fong Ping gritted his teeth. If Earth Xing dared to enter, there was nothing he would not dare to do. This hut was an inanimate object, after all. Could it be more threatening than an emperor level? I'm in. Fong Ping's figure flashed and disappeared on the spot, entering the Origin hut. The vicinity of the hut was quiet again. After a while, Taoist Fengyan walked over from the fork. Seeing the Origin hut, Taoist Fengyan frowned slightly. He stared for a while, but did not say anything. After a while, Taoist Thunder also came over vigilantly. Seeing Taoist Fengyan, his expression changed slightly. His gaze was sharp. Soon, his gaze fell on the hut. After looking for a while, he seemed to recognize something and frowned slightly. Origin Realm. Is it open or closed? Taoist Fengyan stared for a while and said slowly, it might be open. Before the sect leader left, he didn't even close the Origin Realm. The sect leader didn't prepare to leave for a long time. Taoist Fengyan was not surprised at all. When King Kuan left, he did not think that he would not return. If that was the case, some things were naturally not arranged. The two talked for a while. Thunder said in a low voice, "Do you want to go in?" "Thunder, you're not going in?" Taoist Fengyan smiled, faintly. "I won't fight with you for the opportunity." Thunder said indifferently, "The Origin Realm is a good place. This is the treasure of the myriad Daos, left behind by the master of the hall, the guardian of the spring. Fengyan, aren't you tempted?" The treasure of the myriad Daos? Fengyan chuckled. It's just a simulation of the myriad Daos. It's not like it's the real myriad Daos. Thunder, it's not like we don't know. Moreover, we haven't reached that level yet. We're not the sect leader. We don't need to observe the entire source world. That's true. Thunder nodded and disappeared from the fork in the blink of an eye. He had heard that the Origin Realm was a good place. Moreover, some of the great Tao that King Kuan had plotted over the years seemed to be stored within. However, the Origin Realm was also very dangerous, and it was easy to get lost. He did not want to enter it at this time. The most important thing was the celestial Dwarch golden body. He wanted to see if he could obtain some great opportunities from the heavenly Emperor golden body. After he left, Taoist Fengyan frowned slightly in regret. Taoist Fengyan actually wanted to go in and take a look. The Origin Realm was a relic left behind by the person who guarded the spring in the past. It was a supreme treasure that was created after countless years of imitating the operation of the 10,000 Daos. Here, you may find yourself further along the path. Here, perhaps, you can remedy the defects in your path. There is no way to continue on the great Tao. Perhaps you can find the one that belongs to you in the simulated myriad Daos. Even though the Spring Guardian was only an imitation, a powerhouse like the Spring Guardian had great foresight and was definitely more knowledgeable than King Kuan. Even King Kuan felt that this was a good place and had spent a lot of effort on it over the years. Even King Kuan could benefit from it, let alone them. However, this place was indeed dangerous. It was very easy to get lost in it. Taoist Fengyan felt that he might not get lost, but Thunder had left. He did not want to stay any longer. Let's look for the celestial Dwarch golden body first. Taoist Fengyan took a breath and disappeared soon after. The Origin Realm. As soon as Fang Ping entered, he was a little dazed. At this moment, he appeared in a patch of darkness. It was a very familiar feeling. Soon, Fang Ping shook his head and murmured, This is the point from back then. The point from when he stepped into the Origin Realm. Opening up the Origin Realm was originally to open up a small foothold in the darkness. Only then would one open up a path that belonged to oneself. As soon as Fang Ping entered, he felt that he was familiar. Now that he connected it with what he thought before, he quickly understood that this was a man-made Origin Realm. I think I have some idea of what the Origin Realm is. Fang Ping said the small house. He roughly knew what the small house was used for. Fang Ping's eyes flickered. At this moment, a voice suddenly came from the darkness. Once you step into the Origin Realm, you can't regret it. There are thousands of paths in the world. Who dares to say that their path is the strongest? The path ahead is unclear. There are no regrets in martial arts. I am unwilling and unconvinced. Who said that my martial arts are inferior to others? There are regrets in martial arts. Leave the Origin Realm to prove your Tao. In the void, an old voice came. Fang Ping listened for a while, raised his eyebrows, and ignored it. It was just a remnant of the past, no different from a phonograph. However, he could hear something in general. The owner of this Origin Realm seemed to have taken the wrong path back then. Or perhaps he was not strong enough and regretted it. However, the Origin Realm was established. After walking for countless meters, could it be destroyed and restarted? Destroying the Tao often meant death. Out of 100 destroyed Tao, 99 would die, and the remaining one would be crippled, unless it was replaced by other existing Tao. Wu Quishan, Tian Mu, and the others had actually destroyed Tao before, but they were all replaced by other Tao. Moreover, they were not completely destroyed back then. Wu Quishan was still walking on his own Tao now, just wearing the mysterious jade, true King's Tao, as a skin. There are regrets in Tao. Fang Ping rubbed his chin. How could he regret it? At this moment, the surroundings suddenly brightened up. Then a Tao appeared, like an undersea tunnel. A crystal-like passageway appeared in the darkness. This is your Tao. Walk in and see if there is an end to your Tao. How far can you walk? There are regrets in the Origin Realm. A vague voice came into his ears. Fang Ping glanced at the Tao in front of him. After a while, he was speechless. Nonsense, this is your Tao, not mine. Who were you looking down on? Was my Tao so wide? Was it tens of meters? My Tao was more than 3,000 meters. Were you looking down on me? Return my Tao. Who were you fooling? In the darkness, the crystal Tao seemed to be waiting for something. Seeing that Fang Ping did not enter after a long time, a force similar to the Origin Qi swept past Fang Ping. It swept one round, another round, and another round. After a while, a human voice came into his ears again. This is your Tao. When he said this, the crystal Tao rumbled and changed, as if it had expanded slightly. Fang Ping rolled his eyes. He understood a little. Were you scanning my aura? You can't scan it, right? Now you just randomly made a Tao to fool me, and you dare say it's my Tao? Looks like it's not that great. Fang Ping thought it was quite mysterious earlier. The owner who left this behind was quite powerful. Now it seemed ordinary. Fang Ping looked left and right. After a while, he did not see Ground Strange and Ground Xing. He was a little depressed. Where were they? At this moment, the scanning continued. In the void, another wave of energy swept over. It seemed to be slightly stronger than before. The force swept past Fang Ping, as if it was trying to identify something. The crystal path began to change again. One moment, it became tens of meters wide. The next moment, it became hundreds of meters wide. The next moment, it even became thousands of meters wide. Fong Ping suddenly chuckled. The aura on his body changed. In the next moment, Yun Sheng's aura emerged. At this moment, the space trembled slightly. At this moment, a crystal Tao appeared in front of him. "This is your Tao. Walk in. There are regrets in the Tao." The mechanical voice sounded again. Seeing this, Fong Ping rubbed his chin. He thought for a while. Suddenly, his aura changed again. This time, it became Qi Huanyu's aura. Rumble! The crystal Tao changed again. This time, the Tao in front of him changed a little beyond Fong Ping's expectations. A Tao that was hundreds of meters wide appeared. It seemed similar to the one Fong Ping saw when he entered Qi Huanyu's Tao. You can really imitate it. Fong Ping was a little surprised. Was this place so mysterious? After thinking about it, Fong Ping was suddenly interested. He went in to take a look. Was it dangerous? It did not feel dangerous. Fong Ping thought about it and still stepped in. He did not feel too much danger. It should not be too dangerous. This Tao, was it really Qi Huanyu's Tao? A fake was a fake. Fong Ping did not think that anyone could imitate someone else's Tao completely. As soon as Fong Ping stepped into the crystal Tao, he felt a sense of familiarity. It was too similar to Qi Huanyu's Tao that day. Everyone's Tao was different. Some people's Tao was like sheep's intestines, pitch black. Some people's Tao was like heaven, illuminated by sunlight. Some people's Tao was like a single log bridge, extremely dangerous. There were also people like Qi Huanyu, whose Tao was flat. Other than some weak points at the end, there were almost no other flaws. Fong Ping entered and looked around. He did not see those memory fragments. This was normal. After all, he knew that this place was fake. Fong Ping looked for a while and continued to walk forward. 500 meters, 800 meters, 1,000 meters. When he walked to 1,000 meters, there was still a path ahead. It seemed like he could not see the end. Fong Ping was surprised. He frowned slightly and continued to walk forward. 2,000 meters, 3,000 meters. At this moment, a person appeared in the Tao, performing martial arts. Fong Ping looked at the phantom. Was this not Yun Sheng? No, was this not how he looked now? In the Tao, Yun Sheng was extremely domineering. A long spear swept in all directions, breaking the void and shattering heaven and earth. The further he went, the stronger he was. 10,000 meters. Soon, Fong Ping walked to 10,000 meters. At 10,000 meters in the Tao, the phantom appeared again. It was still Yun Sheng. At this moment, Yun Sheng wore an emperor crown on his head, golden boots on his feet, holding a golden long spear in his hand. A spear pierced through fifth heaven. In front of the phantom, chaos appeared. A 5-petal black lotus appeared. Breaking 5. This definitely had the strength of an emperor level, and it was not the weakest kind. A destructive power of more than 4 million calories. This meant that if Yun Sheng, if Qi Huanyu did not die, walked to 10,000 meters, and entered emperor level, he would have the strength to break 5. Fong Ping watched like he was watching a movie as Yun Sheng swept in all directions in the void, practicing martial arts. He became more and more interested. This place was a little interesting. The great Tao he saw seemed to be real. If Qi Huanyu did not die and continued to build according to the direction of this Tao, would he really be able to enter emperor level smoothly? It's hard to say. Fong Ping shook his head and continued walking forward. The further he went, the stronger the phantom. As he walked, he had almost walked to the point of 20,000 meters. Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. In front of him, the Tao seemed to have reached a cliff, broken. Yes, a broken section. In front of the broken Tao, there was darkness. The Tao has an end. In the void, a voice came again. Your Tao can't become a saint. The Tao is regrettable. Repent, and you will be saved. Fong Ping looked around, walked to the end, and touched the broken section. It was as if it was real. At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly raised his head. In the void, Yun Sheng knelt on the ground, the long spear broken, howling at the sky, with a look of despair. The next moment, blood splattered in the void, his head cut off by an unknown enemy. Fong Ping seemed to be watching a show, without any sense of immersion. Yun Sheng was beheaded, not me. Yun Sheng was killed long ago, and I killed him myself. Besides, Yun Sheng does not use a spear. Interesting. Fong Ping rubbed his chin. It was a little interesting. This place was a little mysterious. Previously, when the space scanned his aura, it gave him Qi Huanyu's Tao. This was because he imitated Qi Huanyu's aura, but what appeared was the appearance of Yun Sheng, because his current appearance was that of Yun Sheng. If it were someone else, wouldn't it be their own Tao that they imitated, their own appearance, watching helplessly as they become stronger, and then their Tao collapses after becoming stronger, with no path forward, killed by someone? This would make people despair, wouldn't it? And then Fong Ping let out a sudden laugh. He knew, at this moment, the entire crystal Tao was collapsing. Almost in an instant, the Tao he waited for completely shattered. At this moment, Fong Ping returned to the previous starting point again. The Tao is regrettable. Your Tao has an end. Take another Tao and replace it. One day to become a saint, one day to become a king. In the next moment, a Tao appeared in front of Fong Ping again. 1,000 meters wide, the sun shone brightly, and the road ahead had no end. Fong Ping chuckled and stepped into it directly. After a while, Fong Ping walked about 30,000 meters. The Tao collapsed again, and the apparition bled again. It was killed. Soon, Fong Ping returned to the starting point. A voice came from the void again. This Tao is not strong. Then take another Tao. As soon as the words were spoken, Tao was produced in the void again. Fong Ping smiled and continued to step in. This time, the Tao was wider and farther, close to 50,000 meters. When he reached the end, another voice came. The Tao is regrettable, but it can be replaced. With a thought, heaven and earth can be changed in the origin realm. At this moment in the Tao, Yun Sheng was extremely strong. He had already reached the level of the 10 great Grotto Heaven Masters. 50,000 meters Tao. The road ahead was not cut off, but it was a little unclear. As for Fong Ping, he suddenly had an urge to fly up to the sky and merge with the apparition, Yun Sheng. Once he merged, he felt that he could directly possess this Tao. At the end of the road, Fong Ping looked at the sky. After a while, he sighed. It's only 50,000 meters. It's a little short. I'm not even a saint. I don't like it. Following these words, the Tao collapsed again. In the void, another voice came. This Tao is not strong. My strength can reach the heavens, but human strength is limited. If it's too strong, the golden body can't bear it. The Tao collapses. The golden body is destroyed. I don't care. Give me something stronger. Fong Ping shouted. In the next moment, the 50,000 meters Tao collapsed. Fong Ping appeared at the starting point again. This time, the front trembled for a while. Then, a huge and wide Tao appeared. Fong Ping entered it quickly. As soon as he entered, he felt different, powerful, valiant. The Yun Sheng that appeared here had an extremely powerful qi dynamic. Fong Ping walked forward until he walked 50,000 meters, but he still could not see the end. In the void, another voice came. Shatter a Tao and can't appear again. Replace it and become a saint in a day. Give up. Everything is fabricated. The origin realm, the land of miracles. This time, it was the real Tao of a saint. Fong Ping walked all the way to 80,000 meters before he felt that he could not go on anymore. The front was a little hazy, but it was not a broken section. In the void, the Yun Sheng seemed to come to life. He roared, "Come up, you are me, I am you. Merge into one. Replace it and become a saint in a day." "You come down." Fong Ping chuckled. "I am you, you are not me. You are a fake Yun Sheng, I am also a fake Yun Sheng. We are in the same group, but you are not me." Fong Ping joked. Then he looked around, feeling a little speechless. It's as if it's real. If I merge now, will I be unlucky? Why do I feel that this damn place is not a good place? No one will believe in something like a pie falling from the sky, right? He realized that this place was tempting him to merge with the apparition, saying something about replacing it. But it felt too crude and unattractive. Could this place really make him fall for it? That would be underestimating him too much. All right, the main thing was that the Yun Sheng had a poor sense of immersion. If it was his real face, Fong Ping might be a little tempted. This place won't do. How do I leave? I should look for Earth Xing. Fong Ping was not interested in this. You made a Yun Sheng for me to merge. Merge what? Who is one with the Yun Sheng? Just as Fong Ping was thinking about how to get out. In the same space, Ground Chi looked conflicted. At this moment, he was walking on a path that was 30,000 meters long. It was a real great path. At least, Ground Chi felt that this place was too real. It was definitely not an illusion, but a real powerhouse's great path. In the sky, another Ground Chi roared, "What are you hesitating for? Do you want to live under someone else's roof? Do you want to be someone else's subordinate? Do you want to be someone else's dog? Merge. Replace." This is the great path that King Kuan stripped after killing the venerable emperor. Merge. You and I will become emperors today. Ground Chi looked conflicted. Yes, he actually recognized this great path. He had never been to the venerable emperor's great path, but he felt that it was familiar. This was the path of a powerful venerable emperor in the battle of the earthly emperor-god dynasty. This was a real great path. Previously, a 10,000-meter great path had appeared in front of him, but he felt that it was a little fake and was not tempted. But at this moment, what he saw was real. Ground Chi believed that it was real. Merge. Emperor. Opportunity. Ground Chi looked at the Ground Chi in the sky and struggled. Could he really become an emperor if he merged it? Could he really replace the master of this great path and become a real venerable emperor? He hadn't even walked 10,000 meters of his own great path. It was extremely difficult to become an emperor. 10,000 meters was a threshold, but now there was a ready-made great path that was 30,000 meters long. Such a venerable emperor was not weak among the emperors. Merge, Ground Chi murmured. He had a feeling that once he merged with the phantom in the sky, he might really become an emperor. Is this what the sect master meant by easily losing oneself? Ground Chi murmured. These years, the Kuan Palace had been too mysterious. He had been here once, but he hadn't seen an origin realm expert. But he had heard from the sect master that King Kuan had almost merged all the great paths of the powerhouses he had stripped off over the years into the origin realm. In the origin realm, there was really a strong great path, and it was the complete kind. In fact, some people had entered it before and obtained opportunities. The sect master didn't explain in detail. He only said that the origin realm had benefits and dangers. The biggest danger was that it was easy to get lost. For example, once you really merged with the fake great path, your own great path might collapse, and the great path that replaced it would be fake. The path would be broken, and the risk of death would be very high. But Ground Chi didn't know whether the real great path would be the same. What should I choose? Ground Chi was struggling. Replace it or give it up? If he gave it up, Even if this great path didn't collapse, it might not appear again. Would he encounter the real great path next? There were thousands of great paths in the origin realm, both real and fake. Among the thousands of great paths, to find some real great paths that were stronger than the one he had now and could withstand such power, it was not easy. His golden body couldn't even withstand a 30,000-meter great path, let alone a longer great path. Ground Chi was hesitating. At the same time, Ground Chi was also hesitating. At this moment, he was also on a 10,000-meter great path. The great path of a venerable emperor. It was also the real great path. Ground Chi's face was full of sweat. He had also heard some rumors about the origin realm. He had even heard that among the protectors, some had actually walked this great path and achieved the position of venerable emperor and became a protector. These great paths were the result of King Kuan's many years of hard work. King Kuan wanted to complete the convergence of thousands of great paths, so he usually wouldn't give others a chance to enter the origin realm, unless it was a great contribution. But now, he had come in and become emperor in one day. What should he do? At this moment, even if he left, he felt that he had gained a lot because he saw his own path. He had walked in and even walked to the end, but his end was only 10,000 meters. It was very difficult. Unlike this great path, there were still some paths after 10,000 meters, and he might be able to walk further soon. I'm the weakest among these people. Even Yansheng might not be able to defeat me. In this treasure hunt, I might be the first true god to die. But once I become venerable emperor, the origin realm is the result of King Kuan's hard work. Ground Chi struggled violently. The road to becoming emperor was right in front of him. He just needed to merge it. He knew that this was like a pie falling from the sky. But wasn't this the nature of opportunities? There might be some troubles, such as the merging not being smooth, or there might not be a path to walk in the future, but the benefits he got were real benefits. Becoming emperor, even if this great path wasn't his, so what? The great path was for people to walk, and there were experts who walked the great path of their predecessors. If I can't become emperor, what can I do even if I have another 200 years? I'll still die of old age, and I might not be able to live for 200 years. The great battle is coming, and I might die soon. Ground Chi gritted his teeth. The next moment, he made up his mind and flew toward the shadow. Chapter 1109. Another one. At this moment, Fong Ping was having a lot of fun. Changing aura. He discovered that the aura that he had transformed into Qi, Huanyu disappeared after his Tao reached saint level. Yes, it was gone. At most, it would reach saint level Tao. Then, no new Tao appeared. Was this not looking down on him? Fong Ping tried it. It seemed that a person's corresponding aura could lure out so many Tao. Now, Fong Ping was excited. Soon, he began to change his aura continuously. In front of him, Tao kept appearing. Fortunately, the master was not here. Otherwise, he would vomit blood now, because his origin realm was going to be destroyed. How could it be played like this? Space was trembling. Fong Ping did not care about this. He discovered a great benefit. Even if this Tao was fake, it could be used as a reference. For example, the Tao that appeared when he imitated Tian Mu's aura. Fong Ping went to take a look. Maybe it would be helpful to Tian Mu. He imitated Wu Quishen's aura. He did not know if the Tao that appeared was Wu Quishen's. However, this origin realm was quite capable. Maybe it was Wu Quishen's. Even if he did not learn it, it would definitely be helpful. This was indeed a good place. If he was not tempted by the Tao and followed the prescribed order, he might really be able to reach the realm and level shown by the Tao. Continue. Fong Ping roared. His wealth was worth tens of billions. It was enough to change billions for a few minutes. He was just afraid that he did not have that many Tao to show. Rumble! In the void, Tao appeared one after another. Soon, Fang Ping's eyes moved. Looking at the crystal-like Tao in front of him, Fang Ping was a little suspicious. Why does it feel real? He was not very lucky. He had only discovered a real Tao now. For his own purpose, King Kuan had filled in many real great paths here. Dixing and Dicky encountered them very quickly. As for Fang Ping, he had already attracted dozens of great paths. Only now did a real great path appear. Looking at this Tao, that was slightly different from before, Fang Ping scratched his head. This felt real. After all, he was a powerhouse. Whether it was real or fake, he could generally sense it. Is this a real Tao? Fang Ping thought about it and stepped in. This time, the Tao was not so long and illusory. This Tao was more than 7,000 meters. It was much shorter than the previous Tao that was tens of thousands of meters. However, this time, Fang Ping truly felt that this was the true Great Tao. Could this be the Kuan King's Great Tao that Dichi mentioned? Fang Ping was suspicious. King Kuan was quite capable. Was this place special because of the origin realm, or was it the Kuan King's own doing? To be able to display the true nature of the Great Tao, this was not something that ordinary people could do. Fuse. In the void, Yun Sheng bellowed again, yelling for Fang Ping to integrate. Fang Ping could not be bothered with him. He was not even 10,000 meters away, yet he was shouting about fusion. Who was he looking down on? Interesting. Fang Ping looked around and sensed a strong sword Tao aura. This Tao should be the great Tao of a sword Tao powerhouse. How do I take it away? Fang Ping was troubled. How was he supposed to take it away? He really didn't understand the great Tao of stripping. The great Tao was very unpredictable. Until now, he had only seen the old cat strip the great Tao. The others, including King Kuan, had actually used the old cat's divine peeking mirror to do so. Fang Ping's eyes lit up at the thought. A Chinese cat? That's right, it's not like I can't contact Ash Cat and ask. If I can take it away, won't I be rich? If I bring it back to the human world, the great Tao of a paragon is not cabbage. No matter how many paragons King Kuan has killed, the number of great Tao he has stripped might not be many. Big Cat, come out quickly. I've brought you an emperor-level tree fruit. Very soon, the old cat appeared. Where is it? Liar, come back quickly. Eat the fruit, eat the fruit. In his mind, the fat cat's figure hopped around everywhere. It could not wait. After living for so many years, it had never eaten an emperor-level tree's fruit. Back then, the cat tree still had hopes of advancing to emperor level, but the cat tree ran away. It was such a pity. Now, Celestial would actually bore fruit. There was an emperor fruit to eat. Fang Ping tricked this fellow out and quickly changed the topic. Brother Cat, do you know about the origin realm? Rank 9, you're so stupid. No, I'm talking about a black house called the origin realm. Inside, great Tao can be displayed. And even the kind that allows you to integrate, the kind that allows you to become a saint in one day. Black house. Big black face. The old cat was a little embarrassed. They were talking about food, but the liar said something about a black house. How scary. The old cat lost its energy instantly and mumbled, I don't know. Don't. Fang Ping said hurriedly. I found something good here, but I can't take it away now. Brother Cat, there's a true Tao inside. How do I take it back? If I can take it away, I'll immediately get you an emperor level. No, a saint level drink and fruit. Celestial wood is a saint level powerhouse, which is much stronger than emperor level. Saint level. The old cat was really about to drool. Its fat neck was shaking. That was the action of swallowing saliva. Celestial wood was actually a saint-level powerhouse. This time, he was really going to have a feast. The emperor-level beef was still there, plus that cabbage, some other supplementary ingredients, and then some saint-level drink and fruit. The old cat felt that he could not take it anymore. If he could get some heavenly king-level fish heads now, this cat would sell himself. Should I go to Spirit Emperor Dojo and borrow that big fish's fish head for a while? The old cat fell into a fantasy. Would that big fish borrow the fish head? This fish head, it could still grow back after borrowing it. It was not a big deal. Borrow a heavenly king-level fish head, a saint-level drink, a saint-level fruit, an emperor-level beef. The emperor-level beef did not seem to be up to par anymore. The old cat's tongue was hanging out. Delicious! A feast. When Big Dog was still around, he had never eaten such a feast. He could not take it anymore. He really could not take it anymore. Fong Ping looked at the way it was drooling, speechless. Foodie. When this cat talked about food, it was too useless. Big Cat, stop fantasizing. Tell me quickly, do you know how to get these Tao away when you're at the Origin Realm? Origin Realm. Origin Realm. Let me think about it. In order to eat, the old cat spared no effort. He scratched his head with his claws, racking his brains. After a while, he asked doubtfully, "What's the little dark room like?" "It's a basilica." "Forget it. It's inside the basilica of the Spring Watcher beside the Longevity Spring." You know, is it the Kuan Kings or the Spring Watchers?" "The Spring Watcher." The old cat did not seem to remember much about the Origin Realm. However, when Fong Ping mentioned the Spring Watcher, the old cat suddenly said, "The Spring Watcher. The Spring Watcher. You mean that big pervert?" "Huh." Fong Ping was stunned. "Who?" "It's him." The old cat seemed to remember, and mumbled, "I remember now, the one who delivered bathwater to the Spirit Emperor." The big pervert wanted to peep at the Spirit Emperor, but Big Dog reported him. The Spirit Emperor beat him up, but he didn't peep, so the Spirit Emperor punished him to guard the Longevity Spring. Then he reported Big Dog too, and Big Dog was beaten up too. Then Big Dog secretly went to beat him up many times. It was terrible. Fong Ping felt that his worldview was about to collapse. What the hell? Previously, he heard that Taoist Feng Yun had made a mistake and was punished by the Spirit Emperor to guard the spring. Fong Ping felt that he was quite powerful, or else the Spirit Emperor would not have time to deal with him. But now, this so-called mistake was an attempt to peep at the Spirit Emperor, and it was reported by Tengu. In the end, he even reported Tengu. In the heavenly realm, even if Tengu did not break 8, it had the ability to break 7. Someone actually dared to report Tengu. In that case, this Spring Watcher was indeed not weak. After all, with Tengu and the old cat's behavior, ordinary people would not dare to provoke them. The key point was that such a powerhouse also did things like peeping. Fong Ping was speechless. The old cat was still saying excitedly, "I remember this guy. This guy is also a big bad guy. He's not dead yet. Origin Realm. Origin Realm. Let me think. Is it the broken house inside his broken house? Is it the one that let you integrate the Tao once you go in?" Fong Ping's eyes lit up. "You know, of course." The old cat was not in a hurry. It also chatted with Fong Ping happily. Chatting with Fong Ping, Fong Ping took the initiative to find it. It would consume a lot of origin chi. Origin chi. Fong Ping had a lot. It was not bad to raise some small fish heads for himself. The old cat's fat face smiled brightly. That house, that big bad guy found someone to build it. I think it was built by that old man's disciple. It's quite impressive. The big bad guy was beaten up by the Spirit Emperor, and then by Big Dog a few times. He's not convinced and wants to take revenge on Big Dog. He still wants to continue peeping at the Spirit Emperor. He wants to walk the Tao again. How interesting. Fong Ping nodded. This was not interesting. This was really bold. The old cat thought it was interesting, but Fong Ping only heard that it was impressive. He wanted to take revenge on the heavenly dog, and he also wanted to continue flirting with the spirit emperor. Fong Ping suspected that this spring guardian had at least the strength of a heavenly king. Get to the point. What's the use of this house? This house walks the Tao again. The old cat said, casually, it's not that he's walking it again. He's just deducing the various Tao and what it will be like at the end. He said that the myriad Tao will definitely converge in the end, and there will be a node in the convergence. He also said that the node might be the origin realm, and the myriad Tao will circle back in the end. That's why he made this house, and went around deceiving people to integrate the Tao. But his Tao is so fake, who knows how to integrate the Tao? He also said that one day he'll get some real Tao to fill in. Maybe he'll fill in all the Tao, and then he'll be able to see the convergence point of the myriad Tao. Fong Ping's heart stirred slightly. This guy has some ideas. Did he do it? No. How can there be so many Tao for him to integrate? That's why he deceives people, to integrate the Tao. If he integrates one, there will be a Tao in him. Fong Ping asked hurriedly, what will happen if he integrates those fake Tao? I don't know. The old cat was speechless. Only a fool will integrate fake Tao. But if he really integrates, maybe the real Tao will be cheated away by him. The one who integrates the Tao might die. No one will believe him. Fong Ping was speechless. This was hard to say. It did not matter to him, but if a typical rank 9 came and saw so many Tao that could reach the sky, could they really distinguish it? Of course, they might not be interested in a rank 9 Tao. Now that there's a real Tao inside, how do we get it away? There's a real Tao. The old cat scratched his head. He really cheated the real Tao. King Kuan did it. Oh, King Kuan. Hong Kuan must be trying to find the convergence point of the myriad Tao. So, what if he found the convergence point? Fong Ping said doubtfully, in my opinion, the starting point of the myriad Tao is the source world. This is also the convergence point. Everyone knows that, but what's the use of this? Idiot! The old cat said scornfully, if you know the starting point and the convergence point, you can fill in the Tao between these 2 points. If you know where a Tao's starting point and ending point are, you won't go astray. You'll always have a goal. If you continue like this, you'll become stronger. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows. Is the ending point also the source world? If that's the case, I might as well give it a try. Idiot! The old cat said scornfully again. Even if the ending point is the source realm, there are thousands of Tao in the source world. How would you know which one corresponds to which one, and which point corresponds to which one? That's why you have to find it. Only when you find it can you connect your Tao with the ending point. And, oh, if it's connected, you might be able to find the door that's blocking the road. Then you can break the door. Anyway, it's very complicated. How do you know so much? Of course I know. The old cat said indifferently, that big bad guy wanted to cheat me in the past too. He knew that I was very powerful, so he wanted to trick me into doing experiments for him. In the end, he was also very stupid. I accepted his benefits, ate his food, and then ran away. It said it proudly, but Fong Ping was secretly cursing, you shameless cat. The Spring Guardian spent money to hire you as a lab rat for experiments. Why didn't you agree? If you agreed, you did it. In the end, you accepted the benefits and ran away. Do you still have any humanity left? All right, it had no humanity to begin with. It had lost its feline nature. King Kuan's ambition is not small. Fong Ping also understood. King Kuan had been collecting Tao all these years. On one hand, it might be to comprehend other people's Tao. On the other hand, it might be related to the source realm. He wanted to replace the Spring Guardian and continue this research, to find the ending point of thousands of Tao. If there's a real Tao and it's merged by someone, what will the consequences be? The old cat said in a daze. I'm not sure. The fusion of great Taos. If he replaced a great Tao, then his own great Tao might be left behind. That scoundrel definitely wouldn't let anyone take away the great Tao he replaced. Maybe he can summon it back? That means it can really be merged and replaced. I don't know. Why don't you try? Fang Ping almost scolded it to death. I'll try your head. This cat is really unreliable. What if I lose my own Tao if I try? How do I summon it back? I haven't tried it before. The old cat said gloomily. After all, it's an external Tao. He lost his own Tao. Someone else has mastered his own Tao. Maybe it'll be easy to stab him to death and let the Tao return. Fang Ping's eyes moved slightly. You mean their own Tao will stay here? Probably. Won't the Tao collapse here? The source realm is very complicated. It's half illusion and half reality. It's considered a semi-divine artifact. It can be preserved. Then, if I master a person's Tao and he replaces another Tao here, can I control that person? I already said I haven't tried it before. How would I know? The old cat was even more gloomy. I don't know these things every day. I'm not an omnipotent cat. Just try it. If it doesn't work, just shatter his Tao. After all, it's his own. Even if it replaces another Tao and shatters his own Tao, you might still be able to kill him. Even if you can't kill him, he'll still be injured. Fang Ping's eyes flickered again. Then, how do I collect the real Tao here? Di Qi and Di Xing came in. Fang Ping did not know if they had encountered the real Tao, or if they had been tempted and replaced their Tao. If they were replaced, then he might be able to encounter their Tao. When the time came, Fang Ping was still thinking. The old cat's big eyes also flickered. Liar, are you going to lie? Nonsense. Fang Ping refuted. Am I that kind of person? Yes. Don't talk nonsense. The old cat almost spat at him. You are. Don't even think about denying it. The liar was going to do something bad again. I don't remember how to collect it. Saint-level drinks and fruits. You always lie to me, unless you give it to me first. Tell me how to do it first. I haven't gone back yet. How can I give it to you? Then stop that and that. If you don't hurry up and tell me, I'm going to be unlucky soon. If I die, don't even think about encountering an emperor-level drink. Don't even think about encountering one in this lifetime. The old cat was very depressed. What he said made sense. It seemed like this cat was at a disadvantage again. Collecting Tao is very difficult. Tao is half virtual and half real in between. However, the Tao you encountered here has already been stripped. Stripping is actually the most difficult. This is a little easier. The old cat thought for a while and said, try it. Wrap it with origin chi, then hide it in your origin world and see. You're too weak. Under normal circumstances, there's no way to strip a Tao that's stronger than you. Fang Ping's origin Tao was not even 1,000 meters. He could not actually strip it. However, all the Tao he encountered now had already been stripped. It might not be impossible. The old cat said again, anyway, just try it. As he said that, the old cat was stunned for a moment. Suddenly, he said, you said you're at Hong Kuen's house? Yes. You said Big Dog is at Hong Kuen's house? Yes. And Hong Kuen's house is that bad guy's house? Yes. Fang Ping listened and frowned a little. Was this a problem? The old cat scratched his head and said, Big Dog is dead, right? That guy is dead too, right? Otherwise, they would have fought long ago. It's good that he's dead. Forget it. I'll leave first. Don't. Fang Ping said suddenly. If they didn't die, what would be the consequences? What consequences? The old cat rolled his eyes and said, Big Dog beat him. If Big Dog doesn't have the strength now, if that bad guy had the strength, he would definitely beat Big Dog to death. It's the same, the other way round. He doesn't have the strength, but Big Dog has the strength. Big Dog will also beat him to death. He used to say bad things about Big Dog. If both of their strengths are about the same, they will definitely fight. You'll be unlucky. If you're there and they fight, won't you be beaten to death? Fong Ping swallowed. Was Big Dog dead? Was the Spring Watcher dead too? As he thought about it, Fong Ping said hurriedly, Big Cat, if Big Dog isn't dead and is still alive, how can I escape if I encounter Big Dog? How about we build a relationship? He's your brother, after all. He's also my brother. Shameless. The old cat was disdainful. Building a relationship, getting close to him. How shameless. If you meet him, if Big Dog is really not dead, just tell him to give him dog food. The more the better. If you give it to Big Dog, he won't eat you. Dog food. Snacks. That's easy. No. The old cat was speechless. Big Dog isn't me. I eat snacks, but Big Dog doesn't like them. Big Dog likes to eat things with a lot of energy. You have to promise to give him emperor-level corpses, saint corpses, heavenly king corpses. Only then will it work. Fong Ping shuddered a little. This dog did not sound like a good thing. The old cat was slightly better. This cat did not eat humans. It liked to eat fish-type monsters the most. It was not interested in other monsters. But this dog was really a little scary. I understand. Oh, right. What if we meet the Spring Watcher? Isn't he already dead? Just in case. Fong Ping was also very helpless. Nowadays, all kinds of powerhouses were resurrected. How would he know if the other party had resurrected or not? Then, he just happened to go home. If he met an outsider at home, he would be beaten to death like a thief. If we meet that guy, the old cat was also thinking hard. After a while, it said, Why don't you lie to him and say that you're Spirit Emperor's son? No, if he finds out that Spirit Emperor gave birth to little Spirit Emperor, he'll definitely beat you to death. Fong Ping was speechless. This unreliable cat. Then say that Spirit Emperor's relative. Fong Ping asked hurriedly, Spirit Emperor has relatives? The old cat rolled its eyes again. Who didn't have a few relatives? Was a king not a human? They also started cultivating as a human. Maybe. I remember that she has a little niece. Is it a niece? The daughter of Spirit Emperor's younger sister. She came to Spirit Emperor Palace before. Just say that she's her descendant. The old cat said, casually, What's that child's name? I think call her Z-er. That's more or less it. At this point, the old cat did not want to continue. It immediately said, Don't call me anymore. If you call me again, and there are no saint-level fruits, I'll get angry. Once I get angry, I'll pretend to be you and start a live broadcast. Fong Ping rolled his eyes wildly. This cat was not cute at all now. It actually wanted to pretend to be him and do bad things. How could he be the scapegoat? You're used to letting Tengu be the scapegoat, aren't you? The old cat disappeared, but Fong Ping was instantly interested. Collect Tao. He could actually use origin energy to wrap it up and collect it. If this worked, he would really make a profit this time. He just did not know how many real Tao there were here. In the next moment, Fong Ping began to try to wrap up the Tao that had just appeared with origin energy. As for integration, forget it. He was not interested in Tao that did not have 100,000 to 200,000 meters long. Emperor level, saint, it was only a matter of time. Origin energy began to cover the Tao densely. Fong Ping quickly realized that the Tao seemed to be struggling, wanting to escape. Fong Ping became more and more excited. It worked. The only problem was that the consumption was a little high. The Tao was too long. Wrapping it up consumed a lot of origin energy. Fortunately, he had enough wealth points. Moreover, he had converted 10 billion points of origin energy previously. It did not matter if the consumption was high. After a while, the void trembled. A Tao was wrapped up by Fong Ping's origin energy, turning into a small dragon that looked like a long snake. Fong Ping's eyes flashed with joy. He hurriedly collected this thing into the source world. It really worked. It was just that the consumption was not small. In order to wrap up this more than 7,000 meters long Tao, he had used up almost 1,000 clouds of origin energy. This was 100 million points of wealth. Of course, such a long Tao was worth it. I'm rich. Fong Ping grinned and chuckled. A somewhat illusory voice came from the void again. This Tao is not strong. Then walk another Tao. Fong Ping nodded and continued walking. I like it. You'd better walk through all the Tao for me. I'll see how many are real and pack them up and bring them home. At the same time, Fong Ping collected this Tao. Deep underground, the golden skeleton trembled for a moment. At the same time, in the fake sky grave, King Kuan also trembled for a moment. It felt something was not right. No one died, but he still felt that something not too good had happened. Those people who broke into the Kuan Palace should not have gained much, right? If they broke into the Origin Hall, perhaps they could still gain more when they returned. It should not be a big deal, right? King Kuan comforted himself. Even if Wind Cloud and Thunder went in, they might not be able to do anything. He hesitated slightly. On the other side, Heavenly King Jin scolded. Hong Kuan, you did it on purpose. You want to kill us. You're so shameless. Everyone, let's attack together. He wants to destroy the array on purpose and kill us. Let's kill him together. Everyone's faces darkened. Enough. Was it fun to take advantage of the opportunity to defame King Kuan professionally? Chapter 11:10. I'll do it. Fong Ping was so tired he was panting. There were quite a lot of true great Daos in this origin realm. He had already collected 7 or 8 of them. Some were true gods, and there was an emperor level 1. That would take a lot of power and a lot of wealth points. However, Fong Ping looked at the little dragons trapped in the source world and was satisfied. A little tiredness was nothing. He had earned it. If he brought these great Daos back, he might be able to create a batch of paragons. This was a good deal. This Tao is not strong. In the void, when Fong Ping collected a great Tao, the voice seemed to tremble. After a pause, he continued, Then I'll take another Tao. In the next moment, the great Tao appeared again. The origin realm was almost broken by Fong Ping. Back then, the master had actually considered whether someone would break in and steal his great Tao. He was also afraid that if there were too many Tao, it would not be easy to deceive people. Because there were too many Tao, everyone would have more choices, and there would be hesitation. He had to create a sense of tension. There were only so many Tao for one person, but today there were hundreds of Tao that appeared on Fong Ping's side. Because he was not fighting alone. At this moment, Fong Ping had countless incarnations. Now it was Old Wu. Later, it would be the Catacombs rank 9. After a while, it would be the Overseas Immortal Island rank 9. He knew many rank 9. He could imitate at least 800 rank 9, if not 1,000. Fong Ping, who was not fighting alone, was having a lot of fun at this moment. This was really a good place, a treasure land. At the same time, underground, in the amber, the golden skeleton trembled violently. The movement was a little big. At this moment, on the skeleton's head, the black hole where the eye was suddenly erupted with a faint golden glow, like a laser. Who is stealing my Tao? The skeleton revealed a faint mentality fluctuation. Who was stealing my Tao? Yes, it was his. The origin realm was his. The Tao inside was naturally his too. He wanted to thank the powerhouse who sent countless Tao in. If not for this gift-giving boy, he might have really died long ago. It was also because of that person that he could revive. But now, someone stole his Tao when he was about to revive. Unforgivable. Who? Who was so bold? Not even the person who sent the great Tao. Since it was sent in, it was his. There was no reason to take it away. I've swindled people for countless years and only managed to swindle a few. Now that I've finally gotten so much, I'm about to wake up and earn a fortune. Who would pick the peaches halfway? The golden skeleton trembled violently. He wanted to revive immediately. The origin realm cultivators who stole his great Tao were very fast. In just a short while, they had already stolen quite a few. If it didn't recover, it would be snatched away by others. No, I need to be faster. Faster. The golden skeleton could not care less about attracting attention anymore. It increased the speed at which it absorbed the energy around it. In the outside world, the energy that spilled out from the heavenly court soldiers and the few true gods that Fong Ping and the rest had killed earlier had completely disappeared. Not only that, but even the divine city was being guided by a wave of energy. Countless amounts of energy were gathering under the divine palace. At that moment, although the people in the city felt it, there were no true gods around. In addition, there were many incidents happening in the Kuan King Hall, so no one dared to investigate. Who knew what those true gods were up to? This Tao is not strong. In the void, the machine-like voice sounded again. However, at this moment, the voice seemed to have a little more spirituality. It did not say the next sentence for a long time. Fong Ping was a little surprised. Stuck. If he took in too many Tao, the origin realm would collapse. I've only taken in 12 Tao and destroyed 182 fake Tao. I don't even have 200 Tao. Isn't this 10,000 Tao? It's still too early, isn't it? Fong Ping was speechless. What was wrong? Did he ruin the origin realm? After a moment of stuttering, the voice continued. There was no way it could not continue. This was the program, the preset program. When Fong Ping changed his aura again, the program continued. After all, its owner had not really revived yet and could not control it now. Fong Ping heaved a sigh of relief. In the next moment, a real Tao appeared in front of him. This time, Fong Ping's face was full of surprise. Earth Xing's? Looking at this Tao with a somewhat familiar aura, Fong Ping was really surprised. Earth Xing had already chosen to replace it. This guy was really not afraid of death. This kind of pie falling from the sky was obviously problematic. Sigh, in order to become stronger, these guys are also unscrupulous. Fong Ping actually understood Earth Xing. He was about to die of old age, and was still so weak. He was becoming more and more powerless and had no sense of existence. No matter what, he had to fight for it. However, very soon, Fong Ping became vigilant. Earth Xing had changed his Tao. How long had he changed? Where was he now? If he had become an emperor level, if he had not yet mastered his Tao and he suddenly attacked, would he not be in danger? Although there would be a lot of future trouble, if the other party really changed his Tao, he might really have emperor-level strength. I'll take his Tao first. Thinking of this, Fong Ping hurriedly entered Earth Xing's Tao. As expected, it was most likely Earth Xing's. It was very short, more than 3,000 meters. For the average person, such a powerhouse was not weak. However, for Fong Ping, a peak third or fourth stage powerhouse was not enough. At this moment, Fong Ping also sensed something different. Perhaps it was because Earth Xing was not dead. When he entered the Tao, there was actually a faint sense of rejection. Fong Ping did not care about this. He would take it first, just as Fong Ping was taking Earthshing's Tao. It was not far from him. In fact, from the perspective of an outsider at this moment, Fong Ping and the other two were actually very close, less than a few hundred meters away. Of course, in the origin realm, the other parties seemed to be overlapped into a different space, unable to sense the other party's existence. At this moment, Earthshing looked excited. Although his face was pale, Earthshing was smiling somewhat inexplicably. I seem to have become an emperor? Yes. The reason why he said this was because he had just mastered a Tao that he did not understand. It seemed like he could not unleash the strength that he should have. Moreover, his golden body was not strong enough. It was definitely inferior to a real emperor level, but he had really become stronger. Earthshing could sense it. He sensed an increase in an unfamiliar origin. Taos can actually be replaced. Earthshing was also amazed by the magic of the origin realm. It could actually change Taos. Earthshing thought and frowned slightly. He realized that he still had a lot of drawbacks. The strength of his golden body did not change much. Therefore, his basic vitality did not change much at this time. It was about 250,000 calories. In addition to the 10,000-meter Tao and the twofold increase, after the increase, it was about 750,000 calories. In addition to combat techniques, even if it was a twofold increase, it was actually less than 800,000 calories, which was the 6 million calories of a rank 9. It was an emperor-level increase, yes, but he really did not possess the strength of an emperor level. My golden body is a little weak. My control has also decreased a little. If I unleash it, the golden body might not be able to withstand it. Earthshing sighed, a little helpless. He was afraid that he needed time. He had to forge his own golden body. His spiritual consciousness was not strong enough either. His control of power was much more superficial. He needed time. Give me some time. I should be able to reach the true emperor level very soon. Now, I might not even be a match for ground chi. Earthshing made a judgment in his heart. His eyes flickered, but no one knew that he had integrated the Tao here. With the strength of his golden body, it was actually very difficult to see how far the origin had gone. Others looked at the strength of the golden body, the strength of spiritual consciousness, and the aura, not the origin. Maybe this is my chance. Earthshing thought to himself. The two venerable emperors and ground chi did not know that he had become stronger. At the crucial moment, perhaps he could take advantage of them. I'm afraid you guys didn't expect that I would be so much stronger now. Give me some more time. When I become a true emperor level, the biggest winner here today will be me. Earthshing was extremely satisfied. Although he felt that there would be future trouble this time, the future trouble had not manifested yet. Had it not, if he really had the strength of an emperor level or even a heavenly king, it might not be impossible to solve the future trouble. The origin is controlled by the sect leader. If the sect leader doesn't return and I control the origin, then maybe the future trouble will no longer be a future trouble. Thinking of this, Earthshing's eyes lit up. This was a golden opportunity. The sect leader was not here. In the next moment, Earthshing looked at Fong Ping. He did not see Fong Ping, but he vaguely felt that there seemed to be a gravitational force attracting him. Go and take a look. Earthshing made a decision. Now was not the time for him to go into closed-door cultivation. He should control the origin as soon as possible. That way, he might be able to directly avoid future trouble. When he reached emperor level and his golden body was strong, he might be able to replace other great Daos and become a saint or even a heavenly king. All these years had King Kun not integrated a bit of saint level and heavenly king great Daos into it. He did not realize it before, perhaps because his strength was low, but it might not be that there was none. Phew! Fong Ping breathed a sigh of relief. He had finally collected Earth Xing's great Daos. Not bad. I wonder if Earth Xing will die if I shatter the great Daos. Will he turn into a fat baby if he dies? Earth Xing, that fellow, won't really become an emperor now, right? If that's the case, it'll be a little scary. Although there were many future troubles in the Origin realm, Fong Ping had to admit that if he was really forced into a corner, he might also do something like changing Great Daos. His thinking was similar to Earth Xing's. Become stronger first, then snatch the Origin realm directly. The future trouble might not be a future trouble. Of course, Fong Ping would not do it until that point. Just as he was about to continue collecting Great Daos, Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. He instantly released his aura, turning it into Yun Sheng's aura. His expression was ugly. Earth Xing? The aura was a little similar, yet a little different. There seemed to be some additional aura. Perhaps he had not had time to adapt to the converted Great Daos. This fellow came here? Fong Ping quickly collected Earth Xing's Great Daos into the Origin realm. This fellow actually found him. Fong Ping had wanted to look for him before, but he had not found him. Yun Sheng? Earth Xing also sensed Fong Ping's aura at this moment. Both parties seemed to be separated by a layer of thin film. If they were further apart, he could not sense it. At this moment, both parties were very close. In the next moment, Earth Xing suddenly flashed out of the void and appeared in front of Fong Ping. He glanced at Fong Ping and sensed for a while. Yun Sheng's aura was similar to before. He probably did not encounter the real Great Daos. This made him breathe a sigh of relief. This was good. He was also afraid that Yun Sheng had integrated Great Daos. That would be troublesome. At this moment, Earth Xing was no longer afraid of anything. He glanced at Fong Ping and said lightly, Yun Sheng, you're here too? Fong Ping smiled. So it's Lord Earth Xing. Lord, did you obtain an opportunity? Earth Xing smiled faintly. What opportunity? Since you're here, you should know that the Great Daos here will collapse. I was injured by the collapsed Great Daos earlier. When he said this, his heart was slightly moved. Yun Sheng was here, so he should have experienced the scene just now. Would he think that he had integrated the real Great Daos? Fong Ping, on the other hand, seemed to know nothing at this moment. He said helplessly, I thought there was something good in this Origin realm. Who knew that a few fake Daos would appear? But it's good. I have a better understanding of how to walk the future Great Daos. Lord Earth Xing should have gained something like this too, right? When Earth Xing heard this, he knew that he did not encounter the real Great Daos. He thought about it and smiled. That's right. This place is indeed a treasure land. You're still young. You don't know how torturous it is to walk to the end of the Great Daos. Our Great Daos are stagnant. Even if this is just a fake Daos, it's still a huge gain if we can use it as a reference. As he said this, he asked, Did anyone else enter this place? I'm not too sure about this, but when I came in earlier, I think I saw Lord Ground Chi come in too. Ground Chi. Earth Xing frowned. Yun Sheng did not encounter the real Great Daos, but Ground Chi might not. Ground Chi was stronger than him. If the Great Daos he encountered were real, perhaps it would not be top emperor level or saint level, right? He felt a little uneasy. Besides, once Ground Chi saw his situation, he might notice something unusual. Also, if he wanted to control the Origin realm, Ground Chi was also a competitor. Initially, he wanted to attack Yun Sheng, but now he hesitated. After thinking for a while, he said quickly, Yun Sheng, there's only the two of us here. Shouldn't we talk? Venerable Overlord Feng Yun wasn't too friendly to you before. Earth Shing laughed. We're only true gods, not the powerful ones. We might not have other games after entering the Earth King's hall this time. Even if there are, we might not be able to get it alive. What do you want to say, sir? Just say it. Fong Ping saw that he had no signs of attacking. In the source world, he stopped preparing to blow up Earth Shing's great Daos. Cooperation. Earth Shing smiled faintly. Cooperation in the truest sense of the word. An alliance of life and death. You, me, and your father, Di Fei, the alliance of the three of us. Earth Shing's eyes burned. You and I still have the secret of the Fountain of Longevity. This is also unknown to others. In the Fountain of Longevity, there might be other ancient springs. This is also a treasure. But some things can't be hidden. Moreover, there's a saint-level powerhouse this time, and Heavenly Wood is in the Pantheon. Speaking of this, Earth Shing said in high spirits, I won't say anything false. The three of us will secretly form a life-or-death alliance. You and your father are stronger than me, so you don't have to worry about me. Fong Ping laughed. Then what do you want to do, sir? Kill. Earth Shing's voice was faint. Kill Di Ping, Di Qi. Fong Ping frowned. Sir, you must be joking. I'm not joking. I know what you're thinking. If the five of us join forces, we can resist a venerable emperor. Earth Shing said faintly. But you also have to understand that if the five of us join forces, the venerable emperor will be wary and will not let down his guard. Maybe they will still join forces against us, but once Di Qi is dead, we will no longer be a threat. The venerable emperor will no longer think that we are people who must be killed. When that time comes, we will have a chance to survive. Who knows, we might even be able to benefit from the fight between the two venerable emperors and become the biggest winner. Fong Ping laughed. Sir, you're too optimistic. When that time comes, you and I can only be at the mercy of others. We won't even be able to resist. Even if the two venerable emperors want to kill each other, they won't let us go. If there are five of us, of course. But what if there are only three of us helping one venerable emperor to fight against the other? Earth Shing's eyes were burning. If we join forces to kill one venerable emperor, the remaining one will never think that the three of us will be a threat to them. Naturally, he won't attack us now. Instead, he will ally with us to attack the other one. After that, he will think that it will be easy to deal with us. At that time, our chance will come. Fong Ping still shook his head. At that time, there will only be three of us. How can we be a match for a venerable emperor? Lord Di Qi is the strongest. If he really dies, then we will be in danger. Also, Lord Di Qi is extremely powerful. Even if the three of us join forces, there is still hope to defeat him and kill him. It's okay. Earth Shing laughed. He won't guard against us now. Even if he does, he won't go too far. Of course, you and I can't let him know that we have also entered this place. Why? Fong Ping was surprised. So what if we have entered this place? Earth Shing sighed. You don't understand. Di Qi wants to control us now and make us his subordinates so that he will have the opportunity and power to resist the emperor level. Once he knows that we have glimpsed an emperor-level opportunity here, I'm afraid he will attack us. He won't give us the chance to become emperor-level. Fong Ping frowned slightly, but he was speechless. This guy was dreaming. Was he that easy to fool? He actually tricked us into cooperating with him to kill Di Qi and Di Ping. Then the three paragons would go to one of the venerable emperors and kill the other one. Without Di Qi, The three of them would not be a threat to the venerable emperors. Earth Xing had now changed his Tao and hid his strength. At the critical moment, he might really succeed if he gave the living venerable emperor a thunderous blow. When that time came, he and Ground Soaring would be the weaklings. They would be at his mercy. What wishful thinking! These people all thought that they could become big winners. Did they not think that they were fated to do so? Did each of them think that they were the destined one? Fong Ping frowned. After a while, he still shook his head and said, "It's too dangerous. In the end, we will be killed by the venerable emperors." That might not be the case. The venerable emperors also need subordinates and people to help them do things. The three of us will not pose a threat to them. Why not keep us? Then it's a gamble. It's better for the five of us to join forces now. If that's the case, we will be the biggest threat to the two venerable emperors. They will never let us go. Yunsheng, think about it. We are actually saving ourselves. Earth Xing's tone was deep. Saving ourselves. You're a smart person. You should know this. Fong Ping looked like he was in a difficult position. You're making things difficult for me. I didn't even fool you. You actually came to fool me and want me to kill the others. Should I agree to this? After hesitating for a moment, Fong Ping suddenly gritted his teeth and said, "Since Sir has brought this up, I'm afraid Sir has some life-saving measures, but my father and I have no life-saving measures. Unless Sir gives us some immortality ancient spring first." Earth Xing's eyes flashed fiercely. This guy was insatiably greedy. At this time, he actually wanted him to give him the ancient spring. But thinking about it, he was about to become an emperor. When he reached the emperor level, his lifespan would continue to increase. 2 drops of ancient spring could increase his lifespan by 200 years. But when he reached the emperor level, the increase was more than that. Earth Xing thought about it again and suddenly said, "Okay, but we have to kill Ground Qi first. You and I will go out of the origin level and find Ground Fei. We will work together to ambush him outside and kill Ground Qi, or enter the origin level and kill him." Fong Ping cursed in his heart. This guy was really ruthless. Just because he had some strength, he became so arrogant. It was all because he was afraid that Ground Qi would know something or simply replace the Great Path. That was why he was nervous. After all, a secret that one person knew was a secret. If 2 people knew, then it was no longer a secret. He did not seem to have encountered the real Great Path, so Earth Xing could feel more at ease. But with this guy's mentality, he was probably ready to kill him. "Sir, if we really attack Sir Ground Qi, my father may not agree," Earth Xing said in a low voice. "If Ground Qi doesn't die, the 2 venerable emperors will definitely attack us. Yunsheng, we are only doing this to protect ourselves. Ground Qi wants us to resist the venerable emperors with him. But if a battle breaks out, we will be the ones dying." "But hesitation is a big taboo," Earth Xing shouted. "If you hesitate, I'm afraid you won't have a chance. Aren't you afraid that your father will encounter the venerable emperors outside and be killed by them?" Fong Ping gritted his teeth and nodded quickly. "Okay, but sir, you have to give me some ancient spring first. I already gave you half last time. Only 2 drops left." Earth Xing cursed in his heart. "Just you wait, when everyone is almost done fighting. See how I will deal with you." After thinking about it, he took out a fat baby and threw it to Fong Ping. "As for the remaining drop, I will give it to you after killing Ground Oddity." "Thank you, sir." Fong Ping thanked him, but he was judging in his heart. How was this guy's strength? Fine, it was not bad to be a fighter. Of course, he was being a fighter for Earth Xing now, but in reality, he was treating Earth Xing as a fighter. In the end, it would be best if his plan succeeded, and it would be good for him to take advantage of it. Now, Other than that unlucky Earth Ping, he and Earth Fei were the weakest. These powerhouses wanted to rope in the weak first and get rid of the powerhouses. This was an opportunity. Not bad. I like you guys like this. That Feng Yun guy might not believe me. It's okay. This guy still wants to capture me, to strip the Tao for him. If I cooperate with Feng Yun, my life will be guaranteed until the last moment. Feng Ping calculated in his heart. These guys all had their own plans, and they were all ruthless people. After King Kuan left, these guys' instincts erupted. However, it could be seen that King Kuan's ability was not small, and his strength was also terrifyingly powerful. Otherwise, he might not have been able to suppress these people all these years. True God, venerable emperor, saint, who did not have some pride? Was it that good to be someone's subordinate? It was not easy for King Kuan to be able to gather these people. It's a pity that once you leave, the people's hearts are scattered. There's no one who can hold the fort. I hope you won't cry when you come back. Feng Ping consoled him without any sympathy. Soon, he asked about how to leave this place. Di Xing really knew. It was easy to leave. He just had to fly all the way into the sky. When he flew to the end, he would automatically go out. Feng Ping did not say much and was about to leave with him. In his heart, however, he planned to kill these guys and then come back to collect the Tao. He would definitely confiscate all the Tao in this place. No, it's too troublesome to collect them one by one. How about I pack them up and take them away? Take the origin? No. Feng Ping suddenly had an idea. This entire basilica, could he pack it up and take it away? It seemed like the basilica was one with the God City, but it might not be impossible, right? How about he pack it up and take the God City with him? Feng Ping shook his head. The area needed was too big. His storage space was too small. Although he had 2 million cubic meters now, it was not enough for a city. I don't know when my storage space will be big enough to store a city. Feng Ping felt regretful. He had long forgotten that he only wanted to store a rank 9 tree. Kill. The more chaotic, the better. After this, the evil sect will not be a threat anymore. The premise is that I can survive. Feng Ping murmured in his heart. He was still very dangerous. Taoist Feng Yun guessed that he was Feng Ping. This was the biggest danger. Fortune is found in danger. When the evil sect is weakened, humans can really stand in the 3 realms and become the strongest force in the 3 realms. Feng Ping's eyes flashed with ruthlessness. Do it. At this point, what was there to be afraid of? If it really did not work, he was not without a backup plan. For example, a certain cat. That cat was very fast. Let it come and help him. No, help him with the saint-level fruits and drinks. It should not be that difficult, right? Achoo! Magic City. The cat suddenly sneezed, looking at the sky with some pessimism. The intention of harming me was too obvious. I'm actually sneezing. I am an incomparably powerful absolute vengeance cat. Who is this? They actually know how to disturb me. The cat was depressed. There was no need to guess. Those who would disturb me, like this, were either liars or fake human emperors. None of them were good people. When he wanted to say bad things about it, he would hypnotize himself. If the cat was not involved, it would not be able to sense it clearly. A bunch of bad people. The cat scolded. No, he had to find a backer. Why was the cat protecting Captain not awake yet? He lacked a big backer who could fight everywhere. Chapter 11:11. Outside the Origin Realm. Feng Ping and Dixing stepped out of the house at the same time. Turning back to look at the hut again, Di Xing and Feng Ping's eyes twinkled. This was a good place. Feng Ping felt that he had not looted everything. It was necessary to take down this place. As for Di Xing, He was also thinking about how to take the hut. Neither of them spoke. After waiting for a while, Dexing looked at Fong Ping and said, "Why don't I keep watch here? You go look for Defei." And dipping, Fong Ping pondered for a moment, nodded, and said nothing more. If Di Xing wanted to take the Origin Realm, that would depend on whether he had the ability to do so. The Origin Realm had been here for so many years. It would not be taken away so easily. Fong Ping left the Origin Realm. At this moment, if one were to look down at the entire hall, one would notice that they were only wandering around the periphery. The main hall also had the ability to contain Sumeru in a mustard seed. The entire Kuan King Hall was huge. It was like an encirclement. The Reciprocity Realm and the other treasures were all on the outskirts. He wanted to enter the inner area, but he was blocked by the bronze walls. In the inner area, there was only a single hall. It occupied a large area and appeared extremely spacious. Deep within the great hall, in a palace, the palace was tightly sealed. The interior of the palace was extremely simple and crude. There was only a statue that seemed to be made of gold. It was a dog. No, at first glance, no one would think that this was a dog. This was an emperor, an overlord looking down on the world. A huge statue that looked like it was made of gold stood in the middle of the hall. He was standing. His head was facing the sky. His lantern-like large eyes were wide open. The huge mouth opened and closed slightly, revealing snow-white teeth that flickered with a cold light, inspiring fear. Fong Ping did not see it. If he had, he would have found it familiar. He had seen what the Heavenly Hound looked like, but he had never seen the Heavenly Hound's true appearance. It was similar to the Jiao, but it didn't have the leopard-like spots on the Jiao. There was no Jiao's horn either. It was a furred demonic beast, but its fur also seemed to be cast from gold. Every single strand of golden fur gleamed with a cold light that would strike fear into anyone who saw it. Tengu. No, apart from a few powerful beings, no one dared to call it a heavenly hound, but a celestial arch. The heavenly cat, heavenly dog, was the darling of heaven and earth. Many people were wary of the ash cat, but not fearful of it. As for the heavenly hound, he was definitely more afraid of it than anything else. They were afraid of its strength and its ruthlessness. Tiango was extremely domineering, and his martial prowess was also one of the strongest in the three realms. At Tiango's level, other than the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors, no one else could suppress him. This statue had stood here for nearly 3,000 years. He had maintained this posture for 3,000 years. From the time his fleshly body was destroyed until now, his fleshly body had recovered to its original state. Over the past 3,000 years, apart from this, there had been no other changes. 3,000 years ago, the heavenly dog, Warring Sky, had fallen in the tomb of heaven. 3,000 years ago, the 3 great sect protectors risked their lives to snatch its remains and sent it back to the divine court. For the past 3,000 years, this golden body had not been touched. Ever since the fall of the Heavenly Hound, the great war between the 3 realms had never stopped. The earthly emperor-god dynasty had been destroyed. The era of sects had declined. The demon emperor had reappeared. And the humans had fought against the catacombs. In the outside world, everything changed. As for the Heavenly Hound, it was still the same as it was 3,000 years ago. It raised its head and looked at the sky arrogantly, never lowering its head. Outside the palace, the 2 venerable sovereigns and a few true gods were also attacking the bronze walls. Vague noises could be heard. The basilica was still extremely quiet, until, at a certain moment, a faint aura that even the heavenly kings could not detect came from underground. The huge statue seemed to have sensed something. Crack! The statue did not move, but the void below its head was torn apart. The statue seemed to want to look down. At this moment, underground, in the amber, on the golden skeleton, traces of flesh and blood grew. At this moment, in the amber, the skeleton's hollow eyes suddenly burst with divine light. Crack, crack. The neck bone moved slightly as if it wanted to raise its head. They were only 10,000 meters apart, but a person's chi was sealed by the amber, and a dog's chi was blocked by the basilica. At this moment, they could vaguely sense each other, but they could not find each other. Somewhere else. Fong Ping did not find Di Fei, but he found Di Ping first. At this moment, Di Ping's face was pale. Seeing Fong Ping, he seemed to be relieved and said hurriedly, "Let's go. Quickly meet up with the others. We encountered the Thunder Guardian just now, and were almost killed by him." Fong Ping frowned. "Is he that impatient?" Di Ping shook his head and did not say much. Snatching the opportunity from an emperor level, if he met you alone and did not kill you, that was because he felt that you were not as important as the opportunity. Not having enough strength was the original sin. He was not a near emperor-level powerhouse. Naturally, Thunder would not be afraid of him. Both of them encountered a treasure land of opportunity at the same time. Being able to survive was considered lucky. However, Di Ping was still a little regretful. The place we went to just now was the temple's pill pavilion. Maybe there are some ancient pills left. What a pity. Pills. Ever since he had reached the middle ranks, Fong Ping rarely cared about pills and whatnot. However, he also knew that some pills had extremely strong effects. The ancient powerhouses had actually been taking pills all the time. Some good treasures were refined into pills by them, such as the Xian Ming Divine Pill that Fong Ping obtained from Dark Heaven Island previously, and the Immortal Seeking Pill that Immortal Seeking Island had. It was Li Wuji who told Fong Ping about the Immortal Seeking Pill. After taking it, it could create a glorious sun in the source world. Fong Ping was quite interested, but he did not have the chance to mention this. Over at Yu Wu Hua's side, Fong Ping said that he would help, but he had not taken action yet. Moreover, there were fewer battles in the Forbidden Sea now. Immortal Seeking Island might not need support. It would not be easy to take the other party's Immortal Seeking Pill. King Kuen was the son of an ancient emperor and one of the 8 kings. The original owner of this hall was also a powerhouse. There might be some extremely powerful pills left behind. Fong Ping listened and was a little tempted. However, since Venerable Emperor Thunder had the upper hand, Fong Ping of course would not look for trouble. "Uncle, let's meet up with my father and Sir Di Chi first. Only then will we have a chance to compete with Venerable Emperor." Di Ping nodded. Of course, he knew this. He was so happy to meet Fong Ping just now because he was no longer alone. Fong Ping continued to look for people with him while saying, "Uncle, do you know where the Celestial Emperor's golden body is stored in this hall?" "The inner hall." Di Ping knew this and said quickly, "However, the inner hall and the outer hall are separated by walls made of Skyfall Immortal Gold. If we can't find the right way to enter, I'm afraid we can't enter." The Skyfall Immortal Gold he mentioned was the surrounding bronze walls. Fong Ping did not know much about this. Neo-martial artists did not know much about these things. At this moment, Fong Ping tried to attack the wall. Although he did not use his full strength when he attacked, the destructive power was also extremely strong. It could even tear a rank 9 divine weapon into pieces. However, at this time, the wall did not move at all. Di Ping saw this and laughed. The Skyfall Immortal Gold was the main material used to forge divine weapons back then. It's hard to leave a mark on this thing unless you're a saint. Divine weapon. True divine weapon, emperor weapon, divine weapon, at Heavenly King level. Many people were either thinking of ways to forge divine weapons or forging demigod weapons. Divine weapons were very rare. Ordinary powerhouses could not come into contact with them, including heavenly kings. However, heavenly king powerhouses who nurtured a divine weapon for many years might be able to nurture a demigod weapon in the end. The heavenly king seal was considered a demigod weapon. A full-fledged demigod weapon was definitely stronger than some broken divine weapons. When Fong Ping heard this, he was a little jealous. The main material used to forge a divine weapon. Actually, he also wanted to forge a weapon that belonged to him. No matter how good the god-slaying saber was, it still belonged to someone else. Right now, Fong Ping's enhancement was not bad. However, in the later stages, when his strength increased, this broken divine weapon might not be of much help to him. Forging his own divine weapon was the best choice. Old Wang and the others all had one. Only Fong Ping did not have a divine weapon that truly belonged to him until now. This basilica is really good stuff. Fong Ping was extremely tempted, but he did not probe further. Both of them exuded their auras. Extremely fast, they wandered in all directions. Not long after, Di Ping's eyes lit up. Di Fei is in front. Both of them sped up. Soon, they arrived at the place where Di Fei was. At this moment, Di Fei also encountered an opportunity. When Fong Ping and Di Ping arrived, Di Fei was in an outer hall, breaking a seal. Seeing that Yun Sheng and Di Ping arrived together, Di Fei felt a little more at ease. With his son around, the two of them working together, he was not afraid that Di Ping would have any ill intentions. He did not greet them. At this time, he was about to break the seal. Di Ping did not step forward to disturb them. Instead, he looked enviously at the trembling light shroud. The basilica was not considered big. At this moment, at the forefront, there was a small platform that looked like a display cabinet. The periphery was protected by a seal, and there was something inside. Fong Ping glanced at it. It looked like a seal. Di Ping was not prepared to fight for it. Seeing that Fong Ping was staring at the seal, he said enviously, "Brother Di Fei, you're lucky. This should be a saint token." Back then, the divine sect had a fourth guardian, but he died in battle early on. The sect leader once said that whoever could become a new saint and become the fourth guardian would hand this token to the fourth guardian. Unfortunately, all these years, Guardian Jean, who was the most promising to become a saint, died in battle. After that, the other guardians did not have the chance to become a saint. I didn't expect this saint token to be placed here. Saint token! Fong Ping knew a little about this, but he did not understand much. It was only when the cat mentioned the 9 Emperors' seal that he asked a few questions. 9 Emperors' seal, 8 Kings' seal, saint token. This was actually a set of assembled divine weapons. There were more saint tokens, a total of 36. Once this set of divine weapons was assembled successfully, it would be known as the strongest divine weapon in the 3 realms. Of course, whether it was true or not, no one knew. This set of divine weapons was more of a symbol of authority, the 3 realms' authority. Back then, those who held these seals and tokens were all important ministers of the heavenly court. However, regardless of whether it was a combination of divine weapons or not, just the saint token alone was already a holy weapon. Fong Ping did not expect that Di Fei would be so lucky to actually encounter a holy weapon here. There was a rumble. The outer restriction was broken. Di Fei was overjoyed and roared, "Sheng, attack!" Fong Ping was stunned for a moment, but he reacted quickly. He quickly unleashed his qi and slapped the saint token that was about to fly away on its own. Di Fei also unleashed his full strength. With a roar, he punched the void with both fists. Both of them attacked one after another, and the void kept shattering. The seal that was about to fly away was trapped in the middle. Fong Ping was surprised. This thing could fly away on its own. Di Fei had already expected this. He was overjoyed. A complete, holy weapon. It has some spirituality that belongs to itself. I'm lucky this time. Holy weapon. That was something he did not even dare to think about. But today he got a great bargain. Di Fei trapped the saint token, then glanced at Di Ping. Seeing his envious face, he said quickly, Sheng, refine the saint token. When your grandmaster returns, offer this to your grandmaster. He was also afraid that he could not keep this thing, or that Di Ping would covet it and set up an ambush in advance. The father and son did not want this thing. They were going to wait for the heavenly cloud island lord to return and give it to him. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows slightly. He glanced at Di Fei from the corner of his eye, but did not say anything. Those who walked different paths could not make plans together. If he was Zhen Yun Sheng, then of course, this was a strong father-son relationship. Who did not want a holy weapon? But he was not. Not only was he was also Di Fei's enemy, who killed his son. Once his identity was exposed, the first person to kill him would be Di Fei. Fong Ping did not speak. Energy surged out, quietly refining the saint token. At this moment, this crystal-like seal stopped trembling very quickly. Not only that, the crystal-like seal even exuded a faint golden aura. Di Fei glanced at it, a little surprised. Not far away, Di Ping was also surprised. Yun Sheng is really someone with great luck, as expected of a powerhouse who proved his Tao in battle. Brother Di Fei, congratulations. Di Fei was also full of smiles. Seeing that Fong Ping did not seem to understand, he laughed and said, Sheng, this is an ancient saint token. The ancient 36 saints were all overlord powerhouses who controlled the armies of the heavenly court. With the protection of the emperors, they enjoy the three realms' destiny. The saint token has the emperor's aura. It was said that not every powerhouse who obtained the saint token would let the saint token reveal the emperor's aura, but just now, there seemed to be the emperor's aura circulating. Sheng, it seems like you are very compatible with the saint token. Di Ping also congratulated him. Of course, the more compatible with divine weapons and holy weapons, the better. The more compatible, the more the weapon could be used. The strength of a weapon lay in some special functions. For example, divine weapons could cut through the Tao, as well as some power enhancements. However, foreign weapons were not one's own after all. Some weapons were not compatible with you. Even if it was a divine weapon, you might not be able to enhance it much. At most, the material would be slightly stronger than other weapons. Yun Sheng was only at true god level. The saint token was a holy weapon. Logically speaking, it was very difficult to control. Even if it was controlled, the enhancement would be limited. But now the saint token and Yun Sheng seemed to be quite compatible. Perhaps it would erupt with more powerful combat strength. Di Fei was delighted. Fong Ping was also a little surprised. At this moment, when he was refining the saint token, some of the origin qi in his body actually surged out, giving Fong Ping a shock. He did not dare to expose it completely. If he did, even with the system's concealment, it would be easy to see through some things. The moment a golden substance flowed through the seal, Fong Ping immediately kept the saint token into the source world. As soon as it was kept, the shadows in Fong Ping's source world suddenly surged out. The saint token was suspended in the air. A gush of origin qi emerged from these shadows, helping Fong Ping to refine this item. Emperor weapon. This thought suddenly appeared in Fong Ping's mind. This saint token was actually a part of the Emperor divine weapon. It seemed to be different from other divine weapons. Although it was just a composite item, there was still Emperor qi circulating around it. As for Fong Ping, he felt that he should have embarked on the emperor's path. At this moment, he also felt that he was quite compatible with this saint token. Not only that, the saint token was suspended in his source world. Gradually, it turned from a crystal color to a golden color. Then, this seal suddenly enlarged a lot and began to grow against the wind in the source world. When it expanded to the size of the source world, in the midst of Fong Ping's curses, this seal suddenly descended. It was actually going to attack Fong Ping's source world. Fong Ping wanted to curse. Just as he was about to stop it, he suddenly realized that something was wrong. At this moment, the shadows below did not dodge or evade, allowing the big seal to fall. There was a rumble. A deafening sound reverberated throughout the source world. The big seal landed. At this moment, the entire source world turned golden. Fong Ping suddenly felt something strange. A gush of golden aura circulated in the source world. At this moment, he suddenly felt that his source world seemed to have stabilized a lot. Not only that, those figures were also bathed in the golden light, as if they were more solidified than before. At this moment, Fong Ping also quickly looked at his source world. The source world was not quite the same as before. He had integrated Sun City and MCMAU. This city and this school had both turned into mini-cities in his source world. In the past, Fong Ping did not integrate everything. It was just a little illusory. At this moment, these two mini-cities seemed to have become a little clearer. The huge seal stamped down, as if it was helping Fong Ping suppress this side of the world. Below the big seal, there were two ancient words. Fong Ping did not recognize these two words, but at this moment, he seemed to understand them. Sky Cry. Among the 36 heavenly spirits, Sky Cry ranked 35th. Of course, the saint token was more or less the same. It was considered a standard weapon. This was a holy weapon. However, at this moment, Fong Ping was very surprised. This saint token actually had the effect of strengthening his source world. It was too surprising. Yes, strengthening the source world did not seem to be of much help to Fong Ping. At least in terms of strength, there was no sudden expansion of the source world to a radius of 1,000 meters, directly making him an emperor. However, the consolidation of the source world was a solid foundation, especially Fong Ping's source world, which expanded too quickly and integrated the small cities. In fact, it was still a little superficial. If it really collided with a powerhouse's source world, it might not be advantageous. But now, Fong Ping suddenly felt that his source world might not be worse than some emperor level. At least he had seen the Life King's source world. The saint token can actually strengthen the source world. Fong Ping was pleasantly surprised. Only when the foundation was stable could he expand. He did not lack origin chi. However, these days, the source world did not expand much. It was like building a building. If your foundation was not stable, how could you build it up? In the end, it would all collapse. He dared not expand it. Fong Ping was also afraid that if he expanded it too much, the source world would collapse by itself in the end. Unlike Song Mao, this cat had spent who knew how many years to strengthen its source world. That sturdiness made Fong Ping suspect that if they fought in the source world, this cat could definitely smash an emperor level or even a saint's source world into pieces. Song Mao was actually considered a mentality cultivator. Of course, Fong Ping did not know if this cat's golden body was powerful or not. Its amplification of the source world might not even reach the level of a saint. It might not even reach the double amplification of an emperor level. However, if it fought in the source world, Song Mao definitely had the strength of an emperor level. Saint token, damn it! Fong Ping suddenly cursed in his heart. I regret it. Big Cat had thrown away the 9 emperor seals. If he had known that Big Cat had the Nine Emperors seal, which was much stronger than the saint's token, wouldn't it mean that if he obtained the Nine Emperors seal, the Nine Emperors seal would stamp on him, and his source world would be so stable that no one could surpass it? I don't know if I can retrieve it. Fong Ping's heart was full of regrets. Looking at the source world that was still emitting a golden glow, his heart trembled slightly. Saint Token 36. Heavenly King Seal 8. In addition to the 9 Emperor seals, if I collect all of them and stamp them on me, then wouldn't that be, if the source world was stable, he could expand the source world. If he expanded the source world, more origin chi would be born, those apparitions would be stronger, and the path would be opened up faster. Moreover, Fong Ping had some doubts. If the source world reached a radius of 100 meters, would it increase his origin Dao again? At the same time that Fong Ping obtained the saint token and refined it, in the fake sky grave, outside the array, Saint Tian Kuei, the first among the 36 saints, a saint who now had the strength of a heavenly king, suddenly had a burst of divine light in his eyes. The heavenly weeping star has lit up. The heavenly weeping star has returned. At this moment, in his source world, on a huge planet, Tian Kuei's apparition gazed into the distance. There were some planets around the world he was in, but they were all very far away. Some were already dim, some were already broken, some were emitting a faint, ghostly glow. Some were extremely bright, such as Tianli Star, Tian Bai Star, and Tianhui Star. These were the evil sect's 3 great protectors. They were also the 3 great saints back then. Today, a previously broken planet suddenly erupted with a dazzling light. One could only see the light, not the planet. However, Tian Kuei knew that it seemed to be the place where the heavenly weeping saint's source world was. The heavenly weeping star had revived. Didn't the heavenly weeping star die a long time ago? And it died tragically in the hands of the celestial emperor. Tian Kuei frowned slightly, glancing at King Kun in the distance. The heavenly weeping saint had also submitted to King Kun back then. Could it be that King Kun had a hidden hand, secretly helping the heavenly weeping saint to revive? At this moment, his abnormality was also sensed by others. The heavenly king's subduing was really too sharp. He quickly smiled and said, Tian Kuei, you've been plotted against by Hong Kun? This guy is so shameless. Let's join forces and kill him. Everyone was speechless. Tian Kuei thought for a while, but said lightly, he wouldn't go so far as to plot against me, but the outside world, maybe he's been plotted against. The heavenly weeping saint seems to be reviving. As soon as these words came out, everyone looked at King Kun. This time, his gaze was really sharp. The heavenly weeping saint was reviving? Wasn't the heavenly weeping completely dead, killed by the celestial emperor? King Kun almost cursed. The heavenly weeping token had been refined by someone. Damn it, who refined it? Tian Kuei felt that the heavenly weeping saint was reviving, but he knew that that person could not be more dead. How could he revive? This meant that the heavenly weeping token he placed in the King Kun palace had been refined by someone. Not only that, the person who refined it was probably very compatible with this saint token, which was why Tian Kuei made such a judgment. Who? Who would be so compatible with the heavenly weeping token? King Kun was about to explode in anger. Why are all of you looking at me? Where is the heavenly weeping token going to revive? Do you really think that I left a saint in the 3 realms? Chapter 11:12. King Kun felt wronged. There was no use in feeling wronged. Heavenly King Zhen was trying to take advantage of him whenever he had the chance. It was fortunate that the true gods and sect protectors had left. Otherwise, Heavenly King Zhen would have attacked again. King Kun didn't want to bother with Heavenly King Zhen. He said with a dark expression, "Everyone, this array formation has been broken for a few days. It's not good for either of us if this drags on. It's time for everyone to do their best to break the array formation." Then King Kuan looked at Li Zhu and said coldly, "Palm Seal Envoy, it's time for you to do your best." Tian Kue, Unquestionable Jian, Tianji, Tianming, isn't it time for all of you to do your best? They were all heavenly kings. Even the two heavenly kings could fight a heavenly king if they joined forces. These two were only one step away from the heavenly king realm. However, these people didn't use their full strength. They were all hiding it, especially Li Zhu and Demon Monarch. They didn't move at all. At this moment, King Kuan didn't want to talk about himself anymore. It was time to turn his attention to these people. Li Zhu sighed. "I already said that I'm not the Palm Seal Envoy." Everyone pretended not to hear him, just like how Heavenly King Zhen denied that he wasn't King Zhen's brother. They just listened. On the other side, King Zhen also said calmly, "If you don't do your best, then leave first. It's not that easy to stay here and reap the benefits." These people didn't do their best, but didn't leave either. This was very annoying. Seeing that the array formation was almost broken and it was time to see the results, these people weren't stupid. They wouldn't agree to let them take advantage of the array formation. The people who were mentioned looked at each other, smiled, and stepped into the air. Unquestionable Jian said calmly, "After so many days, if the array formation is broken and there's nothing inside, it'll be a waste of energy." Hearing this, Heavenly King Zhen laughed. "Let's try. It's fine if there's nothing inside. I'm just afraid that Spirit Emperor will come out himself. That's scary. Other than Moon Spirit, everyone else will be in trouble." Hearing this, everyone's expression turned ugly. Jinx! How could Spirit Emperor come out? If Spirit Emperor really came out, everyone would be scared to death. Men are so dangerous. It was one thing for them to run all the way to Sovereign Chunling's Bottomanda, but to enter Sovereign Chunling's sleeping quarters, break her formation, and even dig out her bathtub. If Emperor Ling really didn't die, just wait and see. Those who were lucky managed to escape with their injuries. Those who were unlucky could only wait for death. As soon as these words came out, even the celestial pole shivered. Spiritual emperors were very domineering. His father had been reluctant to come to Emperor Ling's palace. As for himself, he had visited a few times with his father when he was young. Now that he had grown up, his father didn't want to bring him along anymore, and he didn't want to go either. Every time he heard a rumor, a certain powerhouse would pass by the spiritual emperor's Bottomanda, and the spiritual emperor would go up and beat him up without any hesitation. He would beat him until half of his body was paralyzed. The area around the spirit emperor's Bottomanda was so scared that there were almost no demon beasts left. After scaring them for a while, Heavenly King Zhenwang smiled and said, "Don't be afraid. Hong Kuan is strong. He might be able to break through 8 or even 9. If we really meet him, let Hong Kuan go up and fight with Spirit Emperor, and we'll go our own way." Li Xuanxia, King Kuan's tone was cold. "That's enough. Do you really think that I don't dare to do anything to you?" Heavenly King Zhen Wang smiled and said, "What's wrong? It's okay. Spirit Emperor is actually not bad. Under normal circumstances, he won't kill anyone. At most, he will beat you until you are paralyzed. Back then, that guy even peeped on you. It wasn't a big deal. Wasn't he punished to guard the longevity spring?" Humph! King Kuan snorted. Of course, he knew who Heavenly King Zhen Wang was talking about. He was living in their hall now. These people had not seen each other for many years. It was rare to meet old acquaintances. Although they were enemies, they were still emotional when they talked. Especially when they talked about these old acquaintances Everyone sighed. King Qian continued and sighed, "That guy should be dead, right? He was unlucky. The longevity spring was too close to the heavenly court. Back then, the area near the heavenly court suffered the most serious damage. The sky collapsed and the earth cracked. He had some improper thoughts about Spirit Emperor. In my opinion, even if he didn't die, he would have to participate in the battle. All these years, there has been no news at all. I'm afraid he is really dead." "That's hard to say." Heavenly Kingjun, Wang smiled faintly. "Ask Hong Kuan. He knows. I killed one of their venerable sovereigns a few years ago and actually obtained a few drops of the longevity spring. The longevity spring might be in his territory." As soon as he said this, everyone looked at Hong Kuan. Everyone had been hiding until now, and more or less had their own territories. Most of them were fragments of the heavenly realm. No one was surprised that King Kuan had intercepted a fragment of the heavenly realm. However, if he had intercepted the territory near the longevity spring, it was worth paying attention to. King Kuan snorted and did not say much. He said faintly, "He should be long dead. When I entered that place, there was no aura of him. He probably left." "Dead," King Qian said sadly. "It's a pity. Back then, Heavenly Hound caused trouble in the heavenly realm." Everyone was angry, but dared not say anything. Only this guy dared to provoke him. Heavenly Hound fought with him for more than 300 years. We were also at ease for more than 300 years. It can be considered a favor. Cough, cough, cough. Someone coughed. Why did this guy sound like he was gloating? Did he deliberately provoke Heavenly Hound? Heavenly Hound just wanted to find trouble with him. As he said this, King Qian asked curiously, "How strong was this guy back then?" "I only know that he broke through the limit of a heavenly king, but he was still alive and kicking after being beaten up by Heavenly Hound for more than 300 years. Don't tell me he also broke through 7? It's not that easy." King Sun said faintly, "Heavenly Hound did not kill him, so he should still be at 6. However, I'm afraid he does have the strength of a peak 6. Without this strength, he would not dare to covet Spirit Sovereign." On the other side, someone laughed and said, "Don't you know about this, Heavenly Kingjun?" The one who spoke was Li Zhu. "Isn't the cat with you? It has been in the Spirit Sovereign Palace for so many years. It should know, right?" "The cat." Heavenly Kingjun laughed and said, "You can ask the cat. I have no interest in dealing with this cat. By the way, you hit its cat tree. I think it will find trouble with you sooner or later. If you don't find it now, it will also find trouble with you when it returns." Li Zhu laughed and said, "What does this have to do with me? You can't blame me for the cat tree's disappearance, right? Keep pretending." "Heavenly King," Zhen said lazily, "I know better than you. I also know where the cat tree is hiding. Don't tell me you don't know. I can't go to the catacombs. Of course, only you can hide the cat tree. What an unexpected disaster." Li Zhu felt even more helpless. He sighed and said, "Where the cat tree is hiding has nothing to do with me. If you don't come to the Earth realm, it has nothing to do with me." Then Li Zhu suddenly said, "Heavenly Kingjun, are there still old fellows sleeping in the Earth realm?" "I don't know." "You don't know?" Li Zhu said with a faint smile. "Then don't tell me that you have been afraid of Tianji and Tianming all these years." Beside him, the two kings of Tianji and Tianji did not look too good. Li Zhu's tone displeased them. As they chatted, the demon emperor suddenly said, "There should still be old fellows hiding in the catacombs. 1,000 years ago, I felt something was wrong, but it didn't feel like a living person. Heavenly Kingjun, the clone of the earthly sovereign, is still here, right?" Hearing this, Everyone's expressions changed again. The clone of the earthly sovereign was still here. More than 2,000 years ago, countless experts started a war and defeated the earthly emperor god dynasty. In that war, the clone of the earthly sovereign was also killed. After all, it was the clone of an emperor. Even if it wasn't a real emperor, it was still extremely powerful. In that war, there were more experts than those on the surface. Among the people present, King Kuan, King Zhen, and another heavenly king participated in that war. That war wasn't what it seemed on the surface. Only some experts from the heavens beyond heavens and the overseas immortal islands died. The heavenly king who supported the heavens beyond heavens was killed by the clone of the earthly sovereign in that war. That was why only King Sun, who supported the overseas immortal islands, and King Zhen, who supported the king fate, participated in this war. The one behind the heavens beyond heavens had long been killed. If not, when the demon emperor made his move 1,000 years ago, many venerable sovereigns would have died in the war. Almost all the venerable sovereigns who died that time were from the heavens beyond heavens. I don't know about that. Heavenly King Zhen said with a smile, when Hong Kuan is his father. But it's hard to say. I haven't gone to the depths of the catacombs all these years. On one hand, it's related to Li Zhu, and on the other hand, it's because Hong Kuan is deliberately restraining me. Back then, I was entrusted by my master to protect the human world for a few years. I didn't think it would take long. But as it dragged on, it has come to this. In the end, Hong Kuan still comes to harass me from time to time. I can't do anything about it. I've aged a lot these years. King Kuan wanted to curse. Can you not drag this prince into this matter for no reason? Who's restraining you? These years, he had been busy with a lot of things. Of course, he wanted to go to the human world to take a look, but it turned out that this old man was restraining him. As the heaven-suppressing heavenly king spoke, he stopped talking about this. Instead, he asked curiously, Hong Kuan, who is the Pope in the human world? It's been so many years. I have to say that he's really good at hiding. I went back to take a look a few times and deliberately waited for him to show up. In the end, he could also tolerate it. When I was in the human world, I never showed up once. At this time, a peek can't change anything. Why not satisfy this old man's curiosity? Li Zhu also smiled faintly and said, this king is also quite interested. If King Kuan doesn't mind, how about saying it? King Kuan ignored them. You guys don't know, that's your problem. Why should this king tell you? These few days, I suffered a few losses. Now that you guys feel bad, I will feel better too. Heavenly King, Zhen said again. Unquestionable Jian, you don't know either? Demon Emperor said coolly, I haven't met him before. Then forget it. Oh right, Hong Kuan bullied your master's wife. Aren't you going to say anything? Unquestionable Jian really wanted to kill him with a sword. Go find King Kuan. What do you want me for? Heavenly King Zhen only wished for the world to be in chaos. He looked at Moon Spirit and said with a smile, Moon Spirit, unquestionable Jian really doesn't take you seriously. His master was killed by Hong Kuan, and you, the master's wife, was bullied by Hong Kuan. You didn't even say a word of justice. Moon Spirit's face was livid. She looked at unquestionable Jian with an unfriendly gaze. Unquestionable Jian's expression did not change, but no one knew how he was cursing in his heart. He really did call her master's wife. He also fought in the North-South War back then. In that war 1,000 years ago, Moon Spirit also showed up. Otherwise, there might not only be emperors fighting back then. Usually, Moon Spirit did not care about these things. Now that she seemed to remember it, she looked at unquestionable Jian with a look of dissatisfaction. Everyone else was speechless. Heavenly King Zhen was a sh*t stir. He wanted these heavenly kings to fight right away. One moment, he would provoke this. The next moment, he would provoke that. King Kuen's expression became uglier and uglier. He said angrily, "Li Xuanxie, do you really have to force me to fight you?" "I didn't mean that." Heavenly King Zhen sighed and said, "My strength is inferior, so I can only gather a few helpers to fight you together. Unfortunately, Master died in battle. My fellow sect members also died. Otherwise, I wouldn't have to do this." Heavenly King Zhen was about to cry. How pitiful! Master died. Senior and junior brothers died. Wasn't there no one left? Otherwise, the weapon master lineage would also be extremely powerful. Everyone scoffed. "Are you really Li Yu? Who would believe you?" King Kuen could not be bothered to expose him. He said indifferently, "Fight me? Why don't you go find those beginner martial artists to fight me? Isn't that easier? What do beginner martial artists have to do with me?" "Ha ha!" King Kuen sneered. "King Zhen is a beginner martial artist, aren't you? I always felt that the reason the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors fought was related to beginner martial artists. All these years, I've been investigating the truth. Other things aside, wasn't the attack on Ash Cat the work of a beginner martial artist? They thought that by killing Ash Cat, they could cut off Myriad Dao. That's just wishful thinking. Ash Cat isn't that useful. Even if Ash Cat was killed, Myriad Dao wouldn't let it go. So you want to kill Ash Cat now?" Heavenly King Zhen smiled and said, "So, you're saying that you're the same as the beginner martial artists? There's no point in talking. How is it a glib tongue?" Heavenly King Zhen said playfully, "A few years ago, I know that your people went to Quokang Mountain. If you don't want to attack Ash Cat, do you want to attack Gongjuanzi?" King Kuen ignored him. At the side, Moon Spirit snorted, looking a little unhappy. Heavenly King Zhen looked at her strangely. Moon Spirit's face was dark. She didn't look at him and didn't say anything this time. The others didn't think of anything at first. Soon, someone seemed to remember something. Suddenly, someone coughed a few times as if to hide his laughter. Heaven's Pole was straightforward. He seemed to have thought of something and said casually, "Moon Spirit, Ash Cat, and Tengu don't seem to have a good relationship with you. They were the ones who spread the rumor that Hong Yu lost to you in bed." Boom. Moon Spirit slashed out with her saber. "You're courting death. I won't mention it anymore. This matter is over. Why are you bringing it up?" At this moment, all the experts around heaved a sigh of relief. Well said. If they didn't say it, they would feel suffocated. But if they did, Moon Spirit would definitely fall out with them. Now that Heaven's Pole said it, everyone felt much better. Back then, this rumor was definitely spread by that cat and dog. When the Heavenly Hound saw Moon Spirit, it ran as far away as it could. It's fine if you peeped, but you spread the rumor after peeping. It's already good enough that you didn't fight it out with me. In the distance, Heaven's Pole's clothes were tattered, and his hair was like a chicken's nest. He looked up at the sky as if he was thinking about life. What's wrong now? Why did Moon Spirit attack him? For no reason. To be honest, I didn't spread it. Back then, it was spread in the heaven realm. I just remembered it. Undeserved disaster. Heaven's Pole felt wronged. He felt that today was an unlucky year. He was comparable to Hong Kuen. After slashing Heaven's Pole, Moon Spirit seemed to vent her anger. She snorted. "There's no good person with the surname Tian." Heaven's Pole was speechless. Tengu's surname Tian? Isn't it a little unreasonable to implicate him? Ash Cat's surname is Tsang? It's just a cat and dog. Back then, it was said that they were favored by the heavens. That's why Ash Cat and Tengu were called. When a group of heavenly kings attacked, each one was more ruthless than the other. They wanted to kill a bunch of them immediately. But when it was time to chat, they were like old friends gossiping about this person and that person. It had been too many years. For more than 8,000 years, these people had been alone, who had chatted with each other. To their descendants, to their subordinates, to their descendants, there was nothing to talk about. Loneliness. Loneliness. Some things had to be hidden and suppressed. They couldn't even be said. Now, although they were opponents and enemies, they were also a group of people who could really talk freely, talking about the past, and the present made them less hostile. After chatting for a while, Heavenly King Jun suddenly said, "If we go out this time, why don't we find a place to chat again? What else do we have to pursue in the three realms? It's nothing more than to pursue immortality, to break through the door, to surpass ourselves, and to become an emperor. Let the younger generations solve their own matters. Let's talk about how to break through the 9 heavens and go to the immortal origin to take a look, go to the 3 realms to dig graves, and see if we can dig out a few old antiques. We've been working hard for so many years. Seeing that the Emperor Tao is about to be revealed, what's the point of fighting to the death now?" Seeing that no one spoke, Heavenly King Jun continued, "The world of chaos is also the time to rise. With us old fellows blocking in front, how can the future generations rise? If no one rises, I suspect that the great Tao might not appear, and the door blocking the door might not appear either. I've been observing all these years. I'm afraid that only when there are more people who achieve the Tao, and when there are more new roads, will the door appear." Heavenly King Jun said, solemnly, "The door that blocked the road back then was blocking the old road. Are there people blocking the new road? Not necessarily. Only when there are more new roads could the door change. Otherwise, it would still be a pool of stagnant water. Could the door really appear? When the celestial man, realm walls shattered, the road appeared. The door appeared. All these years, everyone knew that you suppressed me. I suppressed you. You didn't let my people achieve the Tao. I didn't let your people achieve the Tao. What really made everyone feel the change was in the past 1,000 years. There was actually such a change 1,000 years ago. That was because there were many new true gods in the catacombs. If it had continued back then, there might have been hope for the great Tao to appear. However, some people could not wait and insisted on tormenting it. Just like that, 1,000 years had passed. Now, there is such a trend again. I don't deny that it has something to do with humans stepping into the origin Tao in recent years. There are also a few new paragons. It's also because of this that everyone feels a little different. Heavenly King Jun smiled and said, "But if it's like 1,000 years ago, before they grow up and start harvesting, everyone, can the great Tao really be opened? Do we have to wait for another 1,000 years? Our lifespans are long, but no matter how long it is, there is a limit. Like King Qian, can you still wait for another 1,000 years?" King Kuan said coldly, "You want to wait for humans to grow up? Even if what you said makes sense, there are still a few new roads. Zhang Tao can die. Feng Ping can die. Old true gods, like divine foretelling, can also die if you let them kill themselves and give humans another 30 to 50 years. So what? Zhang Tao became a top-notch saint in less than 100 years, and there is hope for Heavenly King. Give you another 30 to 50 years. Do you really think the powerhouses of the 3 realms are idiots? You can't say that." Heavenly King Jun smiled and said, "Now that they are advancing by leaps and bounds, once they encounter a bottleneck, it is very normal to be stuck for 1,000 years. Look at us. We were also geniuses back then. You, Hong Kuan, also advanced to the Heavenly King realm at a young age. After all these years, how have you been? King Sun and King Zhen were heavenly kings back then. After all these years, have they broken through 7? Actually, This old man still thinks that it might be a good thing if a few more heavenly kings appear. They are all old faces. Isn't it very interesting to have a few new faces? King Kuan ignored him. He wanted to buy time for humans, but King Kuan did not really care. However, there were a few people that could not be done. King Wu. This was a huge threat. The newly advanced true gods, Li Zhen, Nan, Yun Yue, Zhang Weiyu, Wu Chuan, Zhao Xingwu, Qin Yaozu, he still did not know that there was only so much time in the human world. Another person had proven his Tao. In addition to the few who were suspected to be the reincarnation of the four emperors, these people were all great threats. The speed of the human race's eruption was too fast. The others also had their own thoughts. What Heavenly King, Shen, said might not be without reason. They all sensed that the great Tao was about to appear, and the door to block the door was about to appear. This was a faint feeling that came from their great Tao. They walked very far and could feel some abnormalities. 1,000 years ago, there was indeed such a trend. 1,000 years ago, it was the rise of the catacombs. 1,000 years ago, the catacombs were also flourishing. A large number of true gods rose at that time. The four royal courts were at war. At that time, the dynasties were established, and the divine sects fought for supremacy. 1,000 years ago, the catacombs were also the main character of the general trend. Therefore, 1,000 years ago, the catacombs suffered. A large number of true gods died. That was why the demon emperor entered the catacombs and delayed for 1,000 years. Now, the human race was the main character of the general trend. Moreover, it was even more obvious than the previous catacombs. Everyone knew that the general trend this time would probably be opened by the human race. However, the human race's eruption was too fast, faster than the catacombs. If this continued, everyone was worried that the main character of the general trend this time would really rise. In the end, the 8,000 years of waiting and scheming would all benefit the human race. Everyone fell into deep thought. For a moment, no one spoke again. Heavenly King Subduing looked around, smiled, and said no more. It was good that everyone knew. In this way, there would be some scruples. Of course, Zhang Tao, Fong Ping, and the others were not on the list of scruples, but the few of them who cared about their lives. Heavenly King, Subduing, muttered in his heart, "These few fellows, good people, don't live long, but scourges last for 1,000 years." Zhang Tao was now harming the true gods and venerable emperors of the three realms. That kid Fong Ping, who knew who he was harming outside, the heavenly weeping command suddenly showed signs of resurrection. He had seen heavenly dogs attack back then. Could that guy survive? Who could fit the heavenly weeping command, other than the 36 saints, those who were conferred titles by the heavenly court? This kid Fong Ping could also do it, right? If it was him, he would have already fought his way to the evil sect's lair. Would he still need to worry about that guy? I'll drag it out one day at a time. Heavenly King, Subduing, thought in his heart. When the human race produced a Heavenly King powerhouse, he felt that it was time for him to rest. 8,000 years. He had done what he promised back then. It was time to let the old man rest, right? Thinking of this, he looked at the array in front of him again, and suddenly felt a chill. Could it be that Spirit Emperor had really crawled out from inside? If that was really the case, he had to be prepared to escape as soon as possible. It shouldn't be. Back then, what was inside? Spirit Emperor didn't seem to have any treasures. If he dug for half a day and dug out a cat's basin, these people will beat the cat to death. Thinking of this, Heavenly King Subduing raised his eyebrows slightly. If they wanted to beat the cat, so be it. Beating the cat was not looking for trouble with this old man, but it was not to the extent, right? Spirit Emperor was bored and put the cat's face in here? At this moment, Magic City's cat sneezed again. I can't live anymore. I've already hidden in the human world, but people still think of me every day. What's wrong with this? Which heartless person is thinking of me again? Meow. A sorrowful voice sounded. The cat felt that it should look for the captain as soon as possible. It really couldn't live anymore. Chapter 11:13. In the Kuan King Palace. Fong Ping had already refined the Saint Order. At this moment, Fong Ping was overjoyed. The source world was extremely stable. Not only that, but he also discovered that he seemed to have a new way of fighting his enemies. No, weapons. The Saint token was a holy weapon. He had the god-slaying saber, but because it was broken, it was only very effective when it was used to slay the Tao. At other times, it was just average. The god-slaying saber could increase his strength a little, but it was very low. It might not even be comparable to some true god weapons that he was comfortable with. Now, Fong Ping felt that the sacred weapon, the Saint token, could increase his strength by at least 5%. As for the god-slaying saber, it had not reached this level previously. Use it as the flipping sky seal. Directly suppress it. This feels even better than chopping people with a knife. Fong Ping suppressed the excitement in his heart and glanced at true Lord Earthfly. At that moment, perfected Lord Di Fei asked joyfully, "How's the refinement going?" Fong Ping nodded. "It's quite compatible." "Very good." True Lord Earthfly's face lit up with delight. Fong Ping looked at him for a while and said nothing more. Di Fei's performance reminded him of someone. It felt like a person from a long time ago, but in reality, it hadn't been that long. The Magic City catacombs, Aquila, from back then. At that time, Fong Ping had also impersonated his son, Kuei Ming, and entered the restricted zone. That person also doted on his son in every possible way. Fong Ping had taken away all of his savings, but that person did not seem dissatisfied at all. He was extremely satisfied. As for the end, Kuei was dead. Fong Ping knew, but he did not make a move. That battle had affected a wide area. Aquila had died at the hands of MCMAU powerhouses, either Wu Quishan or Old Man Li. Fong Ping did not ask, nor did he look. He was burdened with many things. He didn't dare to be soft-hearted or relax. Di Fei must die. Di Fei loved Yun Sheng very much. For Yun Sheng, he dared to challenge Venerable Sovereign. Once he found out that Fong Ping had killed his son, even if he could not kill Fong Ping, he would still seek revenge on humans in a frenzy. If a paragon wanted to seek revenge on humans, then humans would be in big trouble. I hope. I won't do it myself. Fong Ping suppressed the complicated feelings in his heart. War really made people lose a lot. As for me, I am the leader of the human race. Even though I don't want to shoulder too much, now that I've come this far, I can't act recklessly. After suppressing these thoughts, Fong Ping said, "Let's go to the front. Lord Earthstrike is waiting for us there. Then we'll meet up with Lord Earthstrike. Then we can try to enter the inner temple." Naturally, Di Fei had no objections, and neither did Di Ping. Very soon, the three of them flew towards the Reciprocity Realm. After a while, he had reached the Origin Realm. Di Fei was also surprised when he saw Reciprocity. He said very quickly, "This is Reciprocity?" It's said that the sect leader left many opportunities here, but it's also easy for people to get lost. While they were talking, Di Xing appeared. Seeing that Fong Ping had brought Di Ping and Di Fei, he gave Fong Ping a look. Attacking Di Ping now, actually, whether Di Ping died or not didn't matter much. What mattered was Di Qi. Di Qi was a near emperor-level master, and he had even entered the Origin Realm. If Di Qi was alive, they would be targeted by emperors. On the other hand, if Di Qi was alive, Di Xing felt that the control of this small team would always fall into Di Qi's hands. On the other hand, if they killed Di Qi, they would not be targeted by venerables. As for him, even if his strength was not strong, it was enough to occupy a place in this small team. Yun Sheng, have you told Di Fei? No. Fang Ping transmitted his voice to Di Xing. Should we attack Di Ping, or let Di Ping join forces with us to deal with Di Qi? He was a little worried now. If he killed Di Ping and Di Qi, would the father and son attack him? If the father and son killed him and sought refuge with another venerables, their positions would be more stable. At this point, as there were too many deaths, everyone felt insecure. He also did not want to expose his strength because of the father and son. Are the three of us a match for Di Qi? Fang Ping asked. Actually, he was testing Di Xing on purpose. Were you confident? Both of them transmitted their voices. Di Xing said, Brother Di Qi has entered the origin realm. We'll wait here for a while. When Brother Di Qi comes out, we'll move together. Di Ping was a little tempted. Then, why don't we also enter the origin realm to explore? These Lord Gods more or less knew about the situation of the Earth King Hall. This was a treasure land. Since they were already here, why not go in and take a look? Di Xing frowned slightly. The situation inside is unclear. He transmitted his voice to Fang Ping. Kill Di Ping. If Di Ping went in, he was also worried that Di Ping had obtained the opportunity. As for Di Fei, when they killed Di Ping and Di Qi, there would be no time for Di Fei to find the opportunity in the origin realm. Fang Ping gave him a deep look. This guy was still as decisive as ever. He killed without hesitation. They had been working together for thousands of years. He did not leave any mercy. Okay. Fang Ping did not hesitate. The moment the voice transmission ended, a big seal appeared out of thin air. Di Ping was still communicating with Di Xing, feeling the qi movement behind him. He was about to turn around when his expression suddenly changed. He hurriedly broke through the air. But there was Di Xing in front. It was at this moment that the exalted earth made his move. A punch. This punch was mixed with a lot of water vapor, making Di Xing look extremely blurry. But his cold eyes made Di Ping's heart cold. There was danger ahead. There was a killing move behind. He did not understand. Why? Why did Yun Sheng and Di Xing attack him? Only 5 true gods could fight against venerable emperors. If he died, what benefits would they get? His strength was not considered strong. He was only following them to protect his life. Why did they want to kill him? He really did not understand. Could it be because he saw Yun Sheng's saint token? But what about Di Xing? He did not have time to think. It was too fast. These 2 people attacked as soon as they said they would. Even Di Fei did not have time to react. At this moment, Di Fei also left the place in an instant. For a moment, he was a little dazed. What happened? Why did they attack Di Ping? He was still on good terms with Di Ping. However, at this moment, there was already a scream. This was the first time Fang Ping used the saint token, and this seal. Holy weapons were indeed powerful. Fang Ping only felt that he was instantly hollowed out. All the energy in his body was almost sucked out at once, instantly merging into the saint token. The aura that erupted from the saint token was extremely strong. This big seal seemed to be suppressing the world. All around, the heavenly golden immortal wall that was said to be able to forge holy weapons was slightly distorted at this moment. Di Xing's expression also changed. The big seal smashed directly toward him and Di Ping. Even he felt the pressure. Fang Ping's face was also pale. He shouted in a low voice, "Suppress! Rumble!" The big seal fell, breaking through the air and suppressing. The void collapsed. First heaven, second heaven, third heaven, the fourth heavenly layer, trembled slightly. At this moment, Di Fei and Di Xing saw it. Fourth heaven. That was the performance of an outburst of 2 million calories. Of course, fourth heaven was not broken. But even if it was not broken, this attack was still shockingly powerful. At least to them, this attack was incomparably powerful. Even if it was not a 1,000,000 outburst, it was more than 900,000 calories. Di Xing's expression changed. The big seal in Yun Sheng's hand. Saint token? He had obtained the saint token. However, very soon, his expression relaxed. An outburst of less than 1,000,000 cal was not weak, but that was for him in the past. For the current him, such an outburst was not enough to pose a fatal threat to him. No wonder Yun Sheng was happy to cooperate with him. This kid probably thought that if he and Di Fei joined forces, they could easily suppress him. Holy weapon! Di Xing was greedy. He was only close to Emperor's strength now, but if he obtained the holy weapon, he might really be close to Emperor. Yun Sheng was actually so lucky to obtain the saint token. This was also his opportunity. Thinking about it was one thing, but it did not stop him from attacking. Di Xing's eyes were cold. This punch also landed in the blink of an eye. The distance was too close. Di Ping was on guard, but he was guarding against Di Fei and his son. He really did not guard against Di Xing. From his point of view, although the 5 of them were one, they also had a small circle. Di Qi was the strongest, and Di Fei and his son were in a group. Since that was the case, he and Di Xing should be in a group. But now, Yun Sheng attacked him, and Di Xing actually attacked him too. No, you guys are digging your own graves. Di Ping roared. Were they all crazy? What was the benefit of killing him? He did not obtain any opportunity. Why did these people do this? He really could not accept it. Then, under the attack from the front and back, how could he have a chance to escape? The big seal behind him crashed into his back with a rumble. Bang! His back exploded, and his flesh was swept away by the cracks. Countless bones were broken. Up ahead, Dexing punched out, shattering all of his bones. Both of them ambushed him, and he was seriously injured with one move each. A scream came from his mouth, but he lost the upper hand. At this time, the power of the holy weapon was once again proven. When the saint token hit him, the flesh and bones on his back could not recover. A powerful force seeped into his body and continued to destroy his golden body. Di Ping roared again and again. Di Xing roared, "Di Fei, attack!" True Lord Di Fei's expression changed slightly. Fang Ping also shouted, "Father, kill him first, then I'll explain to you." Di Fei gritted his teeth, his gaze a little complicated. He was confused by the current situation. Who was on the same side with whom? Even Yun Sheng could not understand what was going on. These 2 days were like a dream. Even though he did not understand, at this point, Di Fei still sighed softly. An energy long sword condensed in his hands, and the next moment, he slashed towards Di Ping. The 3 of them attacked at the same time, slashing towards the seriously injured Di Ping. Far away, the Thunder Emperor looked in that direction and frowned slightly. What happened? A battle broke out. Who was fighting with whom? He wanted to go take a look. After thinking for a moment, the Thunder Emperor exhaled. Forget it. He should head to the inner hall first. The inner hall was where he wanted to go the most. Although he would gain something here, the chances of becoming a saint or heavenly king were too slim. He might only have such a chance if he entered the inner hall. The Thunder Emperor ignored them and flew towards the end of the tunnel rapidly. He was a protector and knew more than Di Fei and the others. He had actually been to the inner hall before. Di Ping and the others had been there as well. However, they only had the chance to go under the guidance of a protector or protector. Even if they went, they would leave quickly and did not know as much as him. For example, he knew how to get to the inner hall, but the others might not. Boom. An energy tide swept through the entire hall. Di Ping's golden body was destroyed. With the three of them working together, how could he have a chance to resist? His flesh and bones were all swept away by the spatial rift. At the side, the Origin Realm hut trembled a little. Clearly, there were some fluctuations from the impact. Fang Ping quickly absorbed the energy nearby. The heavenly weeping order smashed towards the escaping Di Ping's spirit body again. With three powerhouses attacking, Di Ping could not escape. In front, Di Xing was already blocking the way again. His mentality erupted, shattering the space again. A punch blasted out, tearing the spirit body apart from a long distance away. Screams were heard again. Fang Ping's heavenly weeping order also descended again. With a boom, Di Ping's spirit body was smashed into pieces. The disintegrated spirit body fled in all directions again. This was a powerhouse. At Di Ping's level, if his mentality was not completely destroyed, the probability of his resurrection was very, very high. Only treasures could do it. Fang Ping and the other two each took a side and attacked again to kill the mentalities. Screams were heard again and again. Very soon, everyone narrowed the circle. In the middle of the circle, only an extremely weak mentality remained. Di Ping returned to his human form. His eyes were filled with hatred, his mentality fluctuating violently. Why? Di Xing, aren't you afraid that I'll be killed and you'll be next? How stupid! Di Xing did not speak. He had no intention of explaining. Kill him first. Di Xing might be coming out soon. He had to clean up the battlefield as soon as possible. He could not let Di Xing notice anything unusual. Di Xing blasted out a punch again, sweeping in all directions. Even the void was frozen by a gust of cold air. Di Ping's remaining mentality was too weak. As soon as the cold air descended, the apparition formed by his mentality was frozen in the void. Di Xing's fist descended, shattering the frozen void. Like an ice cube shattering, Di Ping's mentality broke into pieces directly, completely shattered. Even so, Di Xing did not give up. He crushed all the split mentality into pieces. As for Fang Ping, his mentality swept in all directions. In the next moment, at the edge of a fissure, he caught a hint of aura. Mentality condensed into a sword, and he slashed it. Ah! A despairing scream was heard. At the edge of the fissure, some of Di Ping's remaining mentality was shattered directly. This time, Di Ping really had no more tricks up his sleeves. Rumble! In the hall, everyone only heard a roar, but they did not see any signs of Daos collapsing. This was the Earth King Hall. Daos collapsing should appear in the outside world, but everyone knew that Di Ping was dead. The dead Di Fei was still in a daze. Why did he kill Di Ping? At this moment, he could not help but look at Fang Ping. Vaguely, he felt a little unfamiliar. This person, was he really Yun Sheng? Before this, even if he had this thought a few times, he did not think deeply about it. His son had grown up. He was a father. Yun Sheng was his only son. His son had grown up. The first thought that came to his mind was pride. Pride. Even if he felt surprised and strange, he did not think about anything else. But there had never been a moment like this when he felt that the person in front of him was not quite like his son. Resolute, sinister, vicious, killing without hesitation. He did not care if he killed others. Di Ping. He really planned to be in-laws with Di Ping. Yun Sheng and Bai Rong had a good relationship. The two families had dealings. Therefore, when Bai Rong was killed that day, Yun Sheng was flustered and wanted revenge. He and Di Ping did not think much. Yun Sheng and Di Ping had been in contact many times too. Compared to the other Lord gods, Di Fei felt that before killing Di Ping, he should have communicated with him more or less. But he did not. His son had contacted Di Xing and made a move. At this moment, Di Fei was watching Fang Ping's every move. He had some vague thoughts in his mind, but he felt that it was impossible. This was his son. But his son had changed too fast. No way. This is Yun Sheng. Di Fei said in his heart. This was Yun Sheng. It could not be anyone else. How could it be anyone else? 3,000 years ago, he gave birth to Yun Sheng, who was also his only descendant. That was also an era of great chaos. In that era, the heavenly emperor had fallen. In that era, not long after, the war of the earthly emperor god dynasty broke out. After that, the war between the north and the south broke out. In these 3,000 years, both father and son had been in a deep sleep. Yun Sheng had been in a deep sleep for close to 2,000 years. To be honest, Yun Sheng should be less than 1,000 years old. In these 3,000 years, they had not been separated at all. After experiencing turmoil, darkness, and too much, how could his son be someone else? He has just broken through. That's why he looks a little unfamiliar. He has succeeded in proving his Tao. It's inevitable that he will be a little different. But Sheng, does he really have the talent to break through in battle? Di Fei was in a trance. Beside him, Fang Ping's eyes flickered slightly, but he did not say anything. Di Xing, this was an alliance of interests. Taoist Windcloud knew that he was Fang Ping. Venerable Emperor Thunder did not know, but if he knew, he would not kill him. He would probably capture him. At this moment, his identity had actually been gradually exposed. Di Fei. Perhaps he had also developed doubts. All right. Fang Ping suddenly felt a little relaxed. Go ahead and doubt. Come and test me. He felt that it was best for him not to pretend to be someone else in the future. Even if he had to pretend, he should not pretend to be someone else's son. If he did something like this too often, even he himself would feel uncomfortable. If I want to pretend next time, I'll pretend to be someone else's father. Fang Ping murmured in his heart. Being someone else's father was better than being someone else's son. For a moment, the three of them fell into deep thought. No one spoke. They watched as the rift disappeared, watched as the energy swept in all directions, felt the slight vibration in the main hall. Presumably, at this time, it should be raining blood outside. Today, 4 true gods had died. Yesterday, 1 venerable emperor and 2 true gods had died. A few days ago, 2 true gods had also died. 1 emperor and 8 true gods. They did not even know how they died. They had thought that the divine sect was incomparably powerful. Who would have thought that the more powerhouses there were, the faster they died? Outside the Earth King Hall, indeed, it was raining blood. Yesterday's blood rain had just ended, and today it was ushering in another one. Indistinct cries could be heard. That was Di Ping's mansion. Dead, Lord Di Ping had fallen. Today, another master god had died in the divine sect. When would such days come to an end? Below the main hall, the golden skeleton was greedily absorbing everything. Another true god had died. What had happened these 2 days? Could it be that someone had sent him energy because they knew that he was about to revive? Skywood Forest. The Earth King's clone was currently livid and extremely solemn. Dead. Even if he said that he did not care, it was still difficult for him to accept that another person had died. At this moment, even if he was still fighting with Skywood, he could not help but ask, who was that person? He is definitely not Yun Sheng. Too many people have died since he entered the heavenly palace. Skywood, tell me who he is. Skywood laughed. Your Highness, you should go as soon as possible. If you don't go now, it's hard to say how many of your people will survive. Old Sue is not too sure who this person is, but I know that this person is the current King of Man. King of Man. The Earth King's clone was shocked. King of martial arts? No, impossible. Although he was a clone, when the Earth King was around, he was always in the Heavenly Palace. He would also know the Earth King's memories. At this moment, the first person he thought of was Zhang Tao. Very quickly, he denied this. Pluto? Moon Prince? No, these two people do not have this ability. King of Man. King of Man. As the Earth King's clone thought about it, his gaze suddenly changed. Fong Ping. When the real body left, Fong Ping was still weak. At that time, he only had rank 9 combat strength, which was not worth mentioning to the Earth King. But he had collected information about Fong Ping, hiding his identity and changing his aura. Fong Ping had done this before. In addition, he knew that most of the human powerhouses had left, so the one who sneaked in right now was most likely Fong Ping. Fong Ping. The Earth King's clone gritted his teeth. It was actually Fong Ping. That guy actually sneaked into the Heavenly Palace and created chaos. Were Fong Yun and Thunder idiots? Did they not discover his identity until now? 1 venerable emperor and 6 true gods were dead. Or they had already discovered it, but for their own benefit, they did not care about it. Idiot! Idiot! This is the second King Wu. If I don't kill him, he will become a big problem sooner or later. After cursing in his heart, the Earth King soon became dejected. Big problem. Yes, they all felt that King Wu and Fong Ping would become a big problem. But from the perspective of Fong Yun and the others, what did it have to do with them? No matter how strong King Wu and Fong Ping were, who would they look for first? Obviously not them. In their opinion, this was something that only powerhouses like the Earth King would consider. As for Fong Yun and the others, their top priority was to become stronger, so strong that they had the right to consider future troubles, unlike now, where they did not even have the right to consider these things. Opposite him, Tianmu sighed. Your Highness, let's go back. 8,000 years of accumulation. Is it really going to be burned to the ground? It's hard to do it alone. Your Highness's subordinates are really all dead, and you are all alone. Can your Highness really gain the upper hand in the upcoming big change? Human King, human world. This big change is the trend of the human world. If you don't kill these people now, it will become more and more difficult to kill them. Just like in the ancient times, every big change, someone rose up, someone proved the Tao in the chaos. The 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors all had such experiences. Your Highness is the son of the earthly sovereign, so you should know that in the ancient times, when the earthly sovereign proved the Tao, it was accompanied by bloodshed. Tianmu sighed. I once heard that when the earthly sovereign proved the Tao, he fought with several powerhouses endlessly, broke through the 8th heaven, and even fought his way into the 9th heaven. Finally, he got a glimpse of the Emperor's Tao and became immortal. That was the era of the earthly sovereign. And in this era, how many people became emperors? In my opinion, there might only be one. Human King, especially the current Human King. He has the highest chance. Your Highness, are you really not going to stop him? King Kuan looked at him coldly. Tianmu's words were not unreasonable, but it had been 8,000 years. At this point, was he really going to give up? There were still 2 venerable sovereigns left. King Kuan suddenly snorted coldly. Then let them die. The elites of the Celestial Palace were not here. Even if their nest was really destroyed, although it was a serious injury, it was not as important as Tianmu. Seeing him like this, Tianmu was also helpless. There was no other way. King Kuan was not going to let him go. Even if he sold out Fong Ping completely, he was not willing to leave. This time, he was really in trouble. The world is in chaos. Luck, luck, Tianmu suddenly sighed. In every era, the rise of the prodigy seemed to have great luck. This time, if not for him holding back King Kuan's clone, or rather, if King Kuan's clone insisted on holding him back, that human king would not have any way to survive. However, the situation was like this, and King Kuan's clone could not leave. Even though he knew that human king was there, after weighing the pros and cons, King Kuan's clone still chose not to return. This was luck. Luck was between a dead end and a way to life. Some external factors would passively affect everything, allowing these people with great luck to step on the road to life instead of death. Tianmu had experienced this many times, or rather, heard of it many times. The 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors all had such experiences. Otherwise, these people would not have been able to stand out and prove their Tao in that era. Human king. Fang Ping's appearance, or rather, Yun Sheng's appearance, flashed across Tianmu's mind. He frowned slightly. Could it be that this human king really had a chance? He knows the cat knows Li Xuanxia and has some extreme path Heavenly Emperor aura on him. He also has some Imperial Tao aura on him. This human king is a bit scary. What I said today, if he finds out, I'm afraid he won't have a good ending. Tianmu glanced at King Kuan's clone, his heart filled with hatred. You're not leaving? If you don't leave, then I'll kill you, so that you won't even have a chance to leak the secret. If the clone is dead, who will know that I said this? Tianmu made up his mind. In the sky, the battle also became more intense. Above the void, an incomparably huge black space appeared. That was the sky collapsing. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.